This is Wayne Wonder saying G Cole, legal businessman. Bang, bang, boom.
I mean say this a protege, homegrown with G Cole, what you say, we make them know what reggae music we a play, this is protege, the one and only representing for G Cole, you know. Check it, he's out.
And we said them not got no style like we. G Cole, them not got no style like we. None of them no wicked, no wild like we. Accurate, Kabaka Pyramid representing for the #1 selector and radio host. It's all about G Cole, keep it locked. Accurate.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Kali. I'm hanging out with your boy G Cole on the Homegrown Show.
Yes. Welcome one and all. It is Homegrown with G Cole coming to the Massive and Crew live right now across the globe. Big up everybody watching in on the Homegrown with G Cole platform. Everybody watching on Jamaicans.com. All these people hitting me up on WhatsApp. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all big time. All right, Rubber Arms Radio fam. Thank you so much. Everybody, Caribbean Radio. Much love. Appreciate y'all. Live 11 Radio. Appreciate y'all. Dina, what up? Everybody, man. Again, I want to thank you all so much. And of course, I'm grateful for the gift of technology, making the world so much smaller, bringing us so much closer so you can vibe out with us. You know what I mean? Appreciate you. Eddie, lodge up yourself. Paul, y'all get well soon, man, and get out of there and have a good time with us. You know what I mean? King Top, lodge up. Eddie, enjoy, and we wish you a speedy recovery, all right? Special guest inside of the building today. We have different segments of the show, and one segment that I really do enjoy is behind the microphone, behind the culture, which pretty much is us talking to those people who, because when a lot of times people focus on the artist, right? The name that's on the cover of the CD, the name that the face that pops up. But trust me, you got the folks behind the scenes that make sure that happen, right? And we have conversations a lot about the culture, reggae music. We refer to it as a culture because, in my opinion, other genres represent exactly that. The genre, the artists, the producers, and whatever. When it comes to reggae and dancehall music, it's the culture because it represents Jamaica. Reggae and dancehall, the music in general from Jamaica, is a bigger representative, marketing piece, and ambassador for Jamaica than any politician, anything, not even tourism, because of course the music itself contributes a lot to tourism too. So we have to talk about it as the culture. Sometimes we represent the culture, sometimes we misrepresent the culture, and we got a habit of misrepresenting the culture, right? So what we do sometimes is we sit down and talk to those people who we see are on the path of representing properly, right? I always say there are those who do it and there are those who do it well. So if I'm a rant up in this place, I got to talk to those people who do it well. All right. So this series, my special guest, of course, is Mr. The man accolades. Yeah, we got to get on a flash drive. You know what I mean? It was producer, musician, extraordinary. You know what I mean? And also we're talking about entertainment professional. I put it that way. You know what I mean? I'm going to coin that phrase. But another thing we have to drop in it right about now is artists. You know what I mean? Artists. So today I'm going to drop some tunes. And I want y'all to get your Spotify. I want you to get your Apple Music. I want you to get your Tidal and everything you have. You know what I mean? And look up Jon FX. It's Jon. All right? FX. The album is called Vintage Reggae. Right? And one must say, I ain't never heard a more aptly titled, a more suitable title for an album in a long time. You know what I'm saying? Reason why I feel this way, like I told you, John, the last time I heard something like this, it was vintage. It was back then, right? When me hear the tune, and I said it to you, if you had sent me this and I said, yo, me dig up this out of my crates, I would have believed you. I'd be like, cool, I owe this treasure isle stuff, because it got that treasure isle feel, right? I would have believed it, but one time I read the thing closely, because I don't wear glasses, you know what I mean? I got my thing proper. So I was looking at the thing, and the thing said Jon FX. I said, okay, proper produced by Jon FX. I'm gonna send nobody else when the thing, you know what I mean? I see 3 pictures, I'm like, okay, maybe the artist them this. You know what I mean? The 3 man them look the same. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking and say, oh, there's Jon FX this, and it's Jon FX this, and it's Jon FX this. I want to go there, so. And then that's when I hit you up. I was like, yo, are you a folk cousin, man? Channel, ladies and gentlemen, I ain't even go. Everywhere, everything. If I could have
this girl.
I want y'all to grab something to drink. I'm gonna pull this from the top. Grab something to drink. Sit down right about now. Kick your feet up, ladies. Kick your feet up, fellas. Just chill for a minute. You know what I mean? If you want to puff your cigar, bun your things. You know what I mean? It don't matter. Do your thing, right? But right about now, I'm taking you on a journey. The album took me on a journey, so I'm trying to share that with y'all. All right, so I'm gonna get some selfish. Let's do this.
If I could have this girl, I'll give her everything. If I could have this girl, oh, buy a wedding ring. If I could go for it, I'd buy you anything. Bringing you lots of bling and pay off every bill. And if I could have this girl, I could have this girl. Oh yeah, I do a lot of tricks. Jump up and skip back flip and make you fat and thick. Max food and no cheese tricks. If I could get my way, I'll cook and clean all day. And if it is your wish, I'll wash up the dishes. And if I could have this girl.
You're listening to Homegrown with G Cole. He's got a heart of gold.
Shouldn't play the thing like that, and I come and say everything them proper, you know. So next thing I know, the pause that we got lock off all the thing and then look at thing there. You know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen, Jon FX. You know, get the camera, I'm gonna open up, gotta open up the microphone or whatever. Cause people vex with me and say, boy, I'm a selfish artist. My brother, first of all, welcome to the program, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, G Cole. Thank you.
Bro, I'm gonna go straight in. I'm gonna let you know. I went to Salas's album Friday, right?
When did you get it? Friday.
Friday, my pre.
Wow.
Yeah, I pulled it up Friday. No, lie matter. I pulled up Thursday. Pulled up Thursday, and I called you right after. So I pulled it up. I'm gonna say, yo, what going on, sir? And I started listening to it. I swear, like me tell you, like, if you never tell me, say you, I'd have been like, yeah. I wish classic vibe this, the man, read up, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bro, me I listen to things from Thursday evening, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Wow.
Me and my wife go yesterday. I itchy. Sometimes she have to tolerate me, you know, because if I'm listening to something, I just eat what I deal with.
Over and over.
Over and over, and I'm listening to it, and she want to talk to me, and I press pause. She said, no, just turn it. No. That's not, you know what I mean? If I listen to it, I'm listening to it. I can't listen to both of y'all. So let me pause this. I'm going to give my undivided, so that when I press play, you allow me to give this my undivided. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Brother, the whole weekend, but she loved it too. Love it. It has, when we talk about reggae and classic reggae, we talk about King Tubby's, we talk about King Jammies, we talk about Coxsone, and we talk about Treasure Isle, Duke Reed. This to me, it have a Duke Reed feel. Got a Treasure Isle feel.
Yeah, I like Treasure Isle a lot.
Yeah, like Treasure Isle. Yeah. First of all, the hell, man? Talk to me.
Yo, what?
Talk to me.
Listen, it's a boy. It's something I've been planning to do for years. I did have a drum set in my mother's basement in Brooklyn from like 2010, you know. And I said to myself that the way how they capture the feel, it took me years to figure it out because it's just I love remixing. So in my brain, I was like, I can make over some rhythm. Because when I make the rhythms them over, I make them over normally.
Yeah.
Like how you would do like a caveman and you make over rhythm from back in the day. But it sound like of this time. So like when Donovan Jeremy make over rhythm in making the 90s, and make over movie star.
Yeah.
And then it sound like movie star of now. I said, but what if we make the rhythm over, make it sound like the same thing back then? And then somebody said, what's the point in doing that? I said, I just want to capture the sound so I could represent what they did back then. Because that had a feel back then. Right. It's a feel I was searching for. Searching. Right. So I did do Woman is Like a Shadow. I do Without Love. So I buy a nice drum set. When I was a boy, I go Samash, go buy a drum set. Go, I used to say, I was like, this is nice, but why my drum sound like that? Yeah. Cause the drummer go I was like, no man. Let me go back go watch Rockers again. I'm looking for a half smoke drum set.
Rockers is dangerous.
Yeah. But half smoke drum set have tape on the tam. So I said, I wonder, I'm gonna put some tape on my tam. Yeah. So I'm going, say yes. That's the sound I look for. Wow. So what happens is, it seems like in Jamaica, normally what Americans and people would big studios would do. They would achieve that sound with a compressor. They would
EQ
sit down and the whole day they tune in drums. Like a live show, you tune drums. Like kick, snare, stamps. And they'll use that and use the compressor to cut it down in a gate and something like that. I think in Jamaica, you never have too much of that. You know what I mean? So what happens is, I remember when a man set the studio.
Yeah.
Like if you set, Duke could have him gun on him waist. You know what I mean? And rifle somewhere else too. So when a man set a drum set in a studio, you don't move nothing back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then them catch a sound. I said, okay, this is how you do the tam-tam. Playing drums, Jamaica, I play in a church from I'm like 9, you know, Toil Missionary Church.
Wow.
So my mother could recant times when she starts playing pots and pans at like 16 months. Me no remember that. That was way back. I remember
But she remembers vividly.
I remember playing piano at 3. And I used to play Murder Little Lamb for hours.
Right.
And then till I start play the 2 hands. I used to play it over and over.
So you're self-taught?
Yeah, all instruments that I
Wow.
play. I don't go to school. I used to ask my dad, Daddy, can you take me to music school? Can you take me to music school? And him just always said, soon. So by the time I wanted to go to music school, all my friends, you know, I used to play at the church, yeah, at a keyboardist, and everybody, parents took them to music school. But I recognized that they couldn't create naturally.
They could read.
Yeah, they can read, but they can't create from their own brain.
Right.
So then I never bother want to learn to read again.
Right.
You know, because I'd play the Beethoven 4 list the way I hear it. That's not the right way to play it.
Right.
That's how it plays correctly.
Right.
Manuscript wise. So what happens is, over the years, I would want to stay the way I hear it, because it allowed me to create even from something classic like that.
Right.
So then that's the reason why I said, I'm about to learn to read. I know chords and stuff. I could find, if people present them a G minor. If you tell me G minor 7 diminished, I don't know what that is.
Right.
But I play it.
Right.
And like a musician who say, FX, you know, you play the diminished 7, 13. Okay, cool. You know?
But you really know what.
Yeah, I don't know it, you know. But I like them, you know.
Right.
That was how I grew up. Guitar, same thing. Bass, same thing. Getting cadets. I was in
Trumpet.
I was in scout from micro practicing. And then I play bugle them time.
My first instrument.
Yeah, man, the bugle where I play the marching band stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And when I start, snare was always my thing. So happens is, it's a drummer for a long time. When I went to Caveman Studio, I remember a guy named Mortimer Planner. Planner trained Bob. So it's like I used to wait till Planner them come, or when Scratch Period them come. I just hear them talk and sit down and listen. So the Scratch said to me, hey, kid, you need to go play the ocean.
How old are you at this time?
I'm about 14 or something like that. Caveman. Because I caveman, I don't talk.
Right.
So they don't really allow little youth too much in the yard and stuff. But I don't talk. So it's like I'm like a fly on the wall. You know what I mean? Because I recognize people can get drip up by doing too much talking at studio. Backs up and thing. Caveman was more loving, Rasta vibe, you know? But I would go to the jammies. I go jammies once or twice. And 1-2 times I go to miss a man get thumb up.
You say, I ain't going back.
Yeah, so I'm not going for this. So. You know what I mean? And then you have some studios with big fence. Like Anchor. It's like, if you're not on the premises, you need to be here. Who are you? A big artist there behind the fence. If it's not for them time for work. You know what I mean? That's how serious Anchor was.
Wow.
I'm talking when they move, not when they did out at the front. When they moved to the big building, the Music Works building. You know what I mean? So
that's Gussie,
yeah. So happening is that them big studios would intimidate me all the time, so I don't go. You know what I mean? Because too much things are going on, hustling and dub plate and foreigners spend money on, you know?
Yeah.
So I go, Caveman, I sit, I listen. Scratch, him say, you need to go play. I used to have a drum pad I used to work with. Like a little empty flat snare. I don't know what you call it, but it's at the top of a drum, a skin. I just play it every day.
Practice pad.
Yeah, practice pad. You know what I mean? So, like a makeshift one. So then Scratch said, you need to go play the ocean. I play the ocean. This man tell me foolishness, man. You think he was a madman, you know? You know what I mean? I used to hear about him and but there's no
and
internet. Yeah, there's no internet back then and things. I don't know the legend of a man that he is.
Yeah.
So then we decide to go. Come live at Portmore. So I'm go the Elsha Beach and I pour dance and I play the snare. What I was doing is every time the ocean come in, I go ish. I go ish. Ish. It taught me timing.
So that's what he was telling you to go.
Yeah, he's a brilliant man.
Wow.
He taught me timing.
Off of the ocean.
Yeah.
The current.
Of just playing the ocean, yeah.
Wow.
It depends on the day. The ocean have a tempo.
Right.
You know what I mean? It has a tempo. Sometimes it can be 60 BPM. That's why they make indicators 60 BPM, 120. Think not supposed to annoy you.
Right.
It's supposed to be a tone that is not too fast and not too slow. Mid tempo. It's like earth tempo.
Wow.
The earth itself has a tempo. So,
yeah. And people here thinking that scratches the man
crazy. You know the man is so good too. There's a time when we think we moved to a different little place of Mona. So current wasn't 200, you know. So him coming in and him, hey, current on a bridge light. Yeah,
that's scratch.
Yeah, what's that? What mean a bridge light? Jamaica is 220 voltage where you get from English system.
Right.
This current is 211. Yeah.
So how him know that?
Him just know. You know what I mean? Him just know that the track that's playing is not hitting as hard as it's supposed to be hitting.
And him knows that it's the power.
Yeah, so the current not strong enough in the studio. Damn. You know what I mean? And the tape wobble. The tape, no man. The tape is good. Let me recoil the tape.
And he's doing all of that alpha when here.
Just hear him, just walk in and it just said, stop the tape. Was doing a song for Half Pint. My Donna. I don't think I ever released that song. So I have the tape for that song to 16 track. Real to real. You know what I mean? Half Pint recorded that. You know what I mean?
And again, how old are you at this point?
About 16 now. Cause I come America. Yeah, cause what happened is Caveman did what it was this Half Pint, they take a liking to me.
Yeah.
So we did the studio. Natty King was like a chef before him get, shouldn't bring your guns, come to town. And he make the food and the ital and the calabash and the stuff. Me, I'm not a ghetto youth, you know.
Right.
They're in an Olympic and so I'm not a ghetto youth.
Right.
Put where me live. Like decent people place. So my mom comes see me and eat out a calabash. What is that? Is it sanitary? You know what I mean? I eat with the hand and anything there. And I say, no, mommy man, him wash him man, a good food man.
Yeah.
So I think my mom changed her diet to vegetarian from that time.
Wow.
So through that note, the recognize me come from decent house. A Junior Kelly come by, him that the hit at the time. Love So Nice around them time too. So then Half Pint now, he would observe me as a quiet youth. Them can tell that I'm not a normal street youth. Not a beggy youth either. Because most people beg you, you sing a bass something. I don't talk to people. Because I have a thing, I don't want to go back to my dad either. I come from a decent house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when Half Pint see me now, it was, I make a rhythm name, the taco rhythm. Blessed love to you, minister, blessed love to you. Something me, Scuba, Black Warrior, you know what I mean? Some local people, Natty King, Steady Ranking, Daniki. Cool. Some long time man, you know.
Damn.
So they made have a song. They say, they in the arena once again. Sound boy run out them out, and they then could not defend. So Natty King and Steady Ranking, Daniki and Steady Ranking used to harmonize each other. I think rest in peace, Daniki. You know what I mean? So then.
So you're a 16-year-old producer at this point?
No, I was never a producer. I was just a musician. So there's like a difference.
Session musician?
Yeah, there's a difference. I would tell people, I've been making tracks, I would say professionally, 2001 when I moved to America. And I think I just became a producer like 2017.
Wow.
Because the ear of a producer is different.
Right.
A lot of people are beat makers. I have to make it clear.
Right.
I used to be a beat maker too.
Right.
It's when you become a producer, you're like, oh, because then you start to hear that you can't cloud up the song. It's about the song. I maybe need to get a saxophone player.
Right.
And even though I can play guitars, I said, but this song needs a flamenco style guitarist.
Right.
I have to go get that guy. That's what producers are good at doing.
Right. And you produce vocals too.
Yeah, man. So that's very, good at that. I'm like harmony special guy, you know what I mean?
Right.
I hear harmonies that not supposed to be there.
Jano,
you know?
Jano.
So through that now, even the same, at the Daniki Steady Ranking session, hey, in the arena once again. Some boy run up them out, I'd find the harmony. Some boy run up them out, and they could not defend.
So you are finding harmony for them?
I'm finding harmony for them. So they'll always catch the alto. Right. This is where guys' tones is.
Right.
But there's always some sweeter harmony. You know what I mean? In the thing, you know what I mean? So the sweet ones I'm always find. Because I think reggae harmonies, especially the live ones, are too strong.
Right.
Because the harmony people are most times wanted to be artists and they want to be heard also. So they find some big ugly sound, yeah. But to me, harmonies are supposed to be felt, not heard. You know what I mean? To my take on it. You know?
I never thought of that. Felt.
Yeah, cause Motowns and Motown kind of harmonies. You know what I mean? Get no real love, just have to wait. You say love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. And it's there. And she's singing, it's the game of give and take. So the harmonies are just there, kind of light, with a little chamber reverb thing on it, you know.
Padded in the background,
It's
nice
padded.
and subtle.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like the ocean.
Yeah. Wow.
So
wow.
I want to tell you the story, the snare now. So then with the half pint situation, let me go back again. So with the half pint now, half pint take a liking to me till him start drop me home. Still not knowing what I do, you know. Him just think me just a little youth in the studio.
Right.
And think him buy like peanut and him buy food and everything him buy one for me. When him start drop me home now, my parents shocked. My mom and dad say, how you have this big thing? My father asked him, what do you see in this little youth? Why you have this kid around you all the time? So I'm just a cool youth, you know what I mean? So then it made me become more open. A caveman never knew the amount of instruments I could play either.
Wow.
Them just know me as a little phrase youth, you know?
Right.
Feel like a phrase here. What's that? That's record name again, man. So you have a record with the just be good to me, I'll be good to you.
Yeah.
I don't know if they use anything I did on it. You know what I mean? I think I played that.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
The clavinet, you know?
Yeah,
So that's like that did rhythm did kick I think 99 or 2000. That's when I was just about to leave Jamaica.
Right.
So half mine they start using me just to play a little phrase. Fatties them come by rhythms and stuff because Fatties would just make a move around and go anchor and get Danny Brown and get that and go Bobby Digital and him say, yo, play this wrong move, play this to me. You play this to me. I want him to collect and use the best sounds. So what look you with him name John, the Johnny FX. And say, you come play something for me. Play. You know what I mean?
So that's where you got the name Jon FX?
Yeah, so how I get the name now is messing up a dub plate. So them have a dub plate where go Luciano. Broken hearted sound boy, rocking to the sun way down. Like a western kind of thing, right?
Right.
So me go broken hearted sound boy. You know what I mean?
No more the thing.
Yeah, what happened is me did love the scientists
Yeah.
and the Tubby style of dubbing. I really love it from a little bit. Can't tell none of my friend them that in Jamaica. Cause friend and Ninja Man and Bounty and everything around the place.
And you
Can't tell them something into dub.
you in a retro stuff.
Yeah, man, we just love dub. You know what I mean? So we just love the way them use the spring reverb and you know what I mean? I remember one day I hear tenor sing and say, sound sweeter with an echo chamber. I say, Kid man, you have echo chamber? I say, one big ugly something around this. So. It was a big thing we can't even fit in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I found out that the echo chamber have a spring reverb in it.
Yeah.
So now with me, I go do like a record now. I'm gonna want the rim shot to do a thing. I just slap it.
The echo chamber.
Yeah, so I'm slap it so it will close off. So you can go tinkin tinkin ish tinkin tinkin tinkin. I'm slap it tinkin ish tinkin tinkin and I'm gonna make it ring gang 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 gang. I make it mute tinkin tinkin tinkin. I'm let it and close it back. You know what I mean? So as I slap the thing is when I get the sound out of it, the sound I want to get from it.
Yeah.
So I say, yeah man. Echo chamber, so because I watch the dance them when a man's in love and the dance in the street. I say, oh, them vocals sound so sweet.
Yeah.
I know them now reverb, delay, spring reverb, spring delay, slap delay. Them have one echo chamber. Them time there.
And that's what's taking it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So every dance you will hear, gotta take it easy, and the street dance them sound sweet. And that's that Barry G them and Sir Grab them have one little echo chamber.
I did not know.
Yeah.
I did not know.
I know them not have no bag of equipment. And then when I look on the board, I remember I watch a Stirgraph thing on Bar G and Little Kirk sing. So come in Little Kirk, you know, it's Bar G. Watch him and say, so I turn up and see what Bar G never use out this. Oh, little piece of echo chamber. Yeah. I said, still I saw sing it.
I saw that video though.
With the echo chamber. And don't, because that was like auto-tune at the time.
Yeah.
Put the chamber upon it, man.
Yeah.
The chamber is a mimic of a room. So Jammy's booth was a concrete place. If it's a Delaware Wilson America, so the room itself had a sound, echo reverb sound.
Right.
It was also the same room that Motown has. Because I went there and I saw the room. No padding. And big old concrete.
Just acoustic.
Yeah, it's just mic you move around.
Wow.
So if you want, can't hurry love, don't stop. You want that kind of sound, the tambourine, you put the mic in the midline and slap the tambourine. If you want to go into the corner, you want to, hey, no mountain, you know, like that kind of, you know, the corner, just to get that thing. That's why people sound good in the bathroom.
Right.
Because the time the sound come back to
The
you,
bathroom
it's like you hear it back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So with that now, me and half pints I go up and on. He was a quiet man too. So him have a thing where you would sitting at the car with him and him just talk. I'm just stop talk. And it's almost like him don't want you talk. Him just want the stillness. And me as a youth, I learn how to be a fly on the wall from long time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So through that now, man, him up and down. I may leave come America now. So the snare, back to the snare. So the snare now, as a youth, when you, me as a drummer, told missionary church is what thing was. So my father was like an elder in church. My mother was like one of the time them make her like Christian head director. Like them offer a Christian head director for all the missionary churches. So me I play, we live at Portmore, so sometimes I have to play a Waterford missionary church.
Wow.
I have to play a Portmore missionary church. Till the Portmore missionary church, I was a drummer, a kind of timid youth. So I wasn't very fancy. I can be fancy, but I never do it. I don't show off. Drunk. My father used to wrap a piece of paper in my pocket and say, do not profile. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, so I wouldn't show off around the drum. So I can play one drum pattern for a long time.
Steady.
Yeah, and what they put people in a trance. All them Jamaican people are poker people.
Right.
It's just that the church is their outlet with them spirituality. So they love when me play. So Power of Faith now was Pastor Davis, so the big church I put my mom. So him request, so what we need a little youth that our church will come play.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So my dad know him good to and thing, and I was mostly wanting to go to the Graceful studio. This is why I end up at Caveman, by the way. I grew up in a church, so maybe to be a Christian music. Daddy, I know him know the Graceful, you know Miss Willis, them good and stuff. Ellis, you know. I'm say my mom know them good too, cause they lived in Portmore too. And Ryan and everybody what we know, them used to go Woolmans, and my brother used to go Woolmans. So we can't wait for go them studio.
Yeah.
But apparently I think the studio, it was, I think, Fab Five them student. Cause Grub Cooper is the one who make all the Graceful stuff.
Right.
Musician in Jamaica is musician. Whether secular or not, is musician.
Right.
So you hear the wave your hand, it you know, Lord, so that's a soca song. You know what I mean?
That's Grub.
Yeah, that's it, man. So man is so talented.
He is.
So I wanted to go to that studio. Apparently, the studio most some renovation and stuff. And my father just never want to disappoint me. So he made me a rule. So I'm gonna take it go to Caveman. Remember, no weed smoking, no Rasta business. You know what I mean? So give me this rule, no Selassie business. All right, cool.
And so hold up. So for the masses out there, because I always feel like when you have that support, the people I know who are in your position today are similar positions in terms of the quality of work you put out, right? And how you view this music.
Yeah.
They're generally people who have had support. And though you mentioned your parents were church folks, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like them never have no
The
hesitation.
support. My
to make
house
you
was
go
a
do
music
things.
house.
So it wasn't about gospel, it wasn't about it was music.
Yeah, my mom is what I call a chill. You know, parents beat you. I don't think my mother ever beat me.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, so lick him with anything. My parents don't do that. Father give him big long counseling. One day I crash him car. Brand new Dehu Cielo, 1997. My mom buy that car, and my parents buy that car like cash in Jamaica, you know. And it's a brand new car, the plastic, and me a show off. Cause we had the brick. My father was like big at he was like head of department at telephone company. So the telephone directory in the 70s, the guy in the front, that's my dad. You know what I mean, from 70s come all the way up. You don't mind the headphone, my father, so Hector Crawford, rest in peace. So happens is he had the brick. So when cell phone come, even wanted the bag. We have that too. We have a phone, I have the tap phone. So me want to show off with my sister and pose off in the car and drive around Michael College. My mom teacher Michael. So KFC buy and the big juice, KFC juice them on the thing. I can drive long time. The juice slide off and I try catch it and crash the car in the bush.
Right.
You know what I mean? So me want a beating now.
Yeah.
From my parents because the counseling I got 8 hours long. Father give a
So
long.
you'd rather get the whooping now.
Yes, I said, Daddy just beat me and done it. No. You think it's how this thing go?
Wow.
He's a counseling man.
Wow.
So I talk to you for hours.
Wow.
Because he's trying to figure out what made you do that.
Right.
And if you what is it peer pressure? Were you triggered by? Did somebody make a bet with you? Because he want to fix your mind. My father is a psychologist, a mind guy, you know. So his thing is just beat and done. No, I need to figure out what's going on in there. And then both my parents, you know what I mean, they wanted to have my mom get where my mother come from, Waterhouse. You know what I mean? She never get pregnant. She never build nobody. She went to college and became a teacher. She was the only one that did that. That's like unheard of.
Wow.
She even tell me one time I done in the area. Can't call her name. I hold her hand and say, I'm one like me if you do it, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you like you want to go schoolwork and them things. I'm like, you want to be like some bright thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? But the church was her covering.
Right.
So the church had women like that who would wait themselves to get married and stuff. So, and she has a whole different story too, where she went to Alpha girls when the sister run the school. So that sister took care of my mom really good, you know what I mean? The nun lady, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a whole different thing now. So with the parents that I have now, my dad is a real true music connoisseur. You know what I mean? Because he taught me, and him only played the mouth organ, you know? I thought he wanted to be a producer. I seriously think my dad wanted to be a producer, and him just channel it in me.
Right.
Yeah, because when I used to listen to music, he's the one who taught me to pick out instruments. So like Papa was a Rolling Stone. Tun, 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 tun. Say, you hear that hi-hat right there? We had a good sound system in our house. He spent a lot of money on the sound system. And Panasonic just come out
Cool number.
with the thing, you know what I mean?
Component set.
The component set. So we have like speakers there in the back, front.
Yeah.
And then the tum tum and go tum 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 pa pa na pa, and the horns come in pa pa na pa 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 na pa. And so you hear that horns pa na pa na pa na, and the song still going boom tum, and then it was the 3rd of September, and the guitar going wah 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 wah. And so you hear that? So he taught me to pick them out.
Yeah.
Yes, so I learned how to pick out sounds. So how I start playing bass now is messing around with the mirror a little lamp. I playing it at Michael College. Michael had a piano. My mom teach there in the evening. So Mr. Morrison, the music teacher, they don't allow children to touch nothing at Michael. Nice Baldwin, Beethoven, Baldwin piano that him teach on. That piano been there. Michael College is the oldest teachers college in the Western Hemisphere. That's to show you how interested Michael teachers. It's now a university.
Yeah.
So Mr. Morris would allow me to play the piano. So when school finished like 2 o'clock, 3:30, Michael practicing, I go to the college. I'm a play. My mom teach extra class there. So I'm playing this piano. So I'm playing the mirror a little. I'm tan 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 tan. And Mr. Morris take my left hand and put it on the root key that I'm playing in. So I go doom. So I go tan 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 tan. So like, what is this I'm doing here? I'm saying it's the bass. I'm saying anything you can sing, you can play. So I'm saying, all right, there's this song I hear on the radio. It was Richard Marx. Wherever you are, whatever you do. So I figured out on my own. Him say, find the where. Where, ta, 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 where. Him say, that's the where. I'm going to show it to you so you can see it, right? So when him show me how to find the where, I was like, okay, this is the where. So it goes, so like with this now. Wherever you are, whatever you do. So he showed me how to, I was ping-ponging around until I find the where.
All right.
So then I find the where note. I recognize the root note is wherever you are. So I recognize the left hand play the bass and the bass going doom, 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 doom. And the melody is playing doom, da 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 da, doom, da 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 da, doom.
Wow.
So it took me like a week to find the bass.
Right,
I listened
right,
to it. Them time the record still a go on. My dad CD was just coming in. My father is an equipment junkie. So in Jamaica, we are like the first to have every equipment. When computer come, 1991 was Pentium.
Right.
The Pentium 1. You know what I mean?
You got it.
The gateway, you know?
Wow.
So then we had the thing. So when I recognize now that, okay, the bass is playing that. So I know, okay, so the melody is playing that and the bass play that. So then the church gets some equipment donated, the Toil Missionary Church. And because the area ghetto, bad Waterhouse area, equipment have to stay at our house in Portmore. It's a field day for me.
Wow. So you keep the equipment and I bring it on Sundays?
Yeah. Yeah, we had it for a long time. Well, they wanted to hold it for a while until they just left it at the church. I didn't know where to put it because there was no musician at the church.
I got you.
So one lady used to play organ, Edna McCarthy.
Right.
And a man used to play piano named Mr. Phillips, you know what I mean, Lloyd Phillips. I don't know nobody else that play. Because the organ, the bass, you play with the foot.
Right.
Real foot pedal, B7 type of organ kind of thing. You know, old organ with the thing on it.
Piano, the pipe organ kind
the
of
pipe
vibe?
organ
Wow.
one. And the church is really boring. So then, when them get the equipment now, they had a crusade. But you may practice the drum from the house long time. Andrew White, pastor's son, did go to school for music, so he can play piano a little bit, you know what I mean? So you learn to play the piano, and then his brother would play to Omar. And then me now said, but the church needs some rhythm. The stuff them too boring, you know what I mean? So then you have this song, when it come out, blessings and honor, glory, given to the ancient of days. So them are playing, so me go get the drum. I hear the way they play it on the CD. And him up, so now you have to go. The ancient. So I start to bring this rhythm to the church. The church was just barely clap hands.
Right.
The thing was so serious. There was another uppity church we call Grace Missionary.
Yeah.
when we go there to play, they're like, no, we don't play it like that. We don't even clap like that. They don't clap over there. They don't the tambourine over them church.
They just singing.
Yeah. So I changed it.
Almost Catholic like.
Yeah, so what I start doing, I start play one drop. I one drop a lot of Christian song. And I mean, Jehovah Giant. So then you have a guy named Roddy now. The man was like a rubber dove man. And the man they come to the church, but the man they kind of street, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, some can play a bass still. I was like, what bass do? You know what I mean? So Roddy string up the bass now. Start turn all the song them reggae-fy them.
Right.
Church is a ghetto church, so them would take it. But certain uppity, like Pope missionary kind of no, keep it the weight on the CD, man. Don't bother with that boogie aggle stuff. So my dad was always, and then the gospel music we grew up on is just not the Jamaican kind of gospel.
Right.
I grew up on Amy Grant, Michael W. Smith, Imperials. Those gospel songs you don't know is Christian, because they don't mention anything about God in it. It just sound like rock and roll songs. You know what I mean? I just...
So it's just inspirational music. No.
Yeah. Like Amy Grant, I was saying, El Shaddai, El Kilkona, Adonai. I don't know what she's saying. I don't know what El Shaddai mean, God and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Michael W. Smith.
Love that song, by the way.
Yeah. My song named Secret Admission. Nobody knows the secret admission. Like secret ambition. He's saying like Jesus have a secret ambition. Rock and roll. To give his life away.
But it don't sound like what we consider gospel.
The song sound like everybody wants to rule the world. Like that. That's how the song sound. Because Michael W. Smith was like the guy in the 80s, you know what I mean? And things. So that's what my dad would do in Mecco here. And matter of fact, when we used to play that Christian music at like the crusade them in the ghetto church, sometimes the people say, "What, Mr. Crawford and the white people gospel? Song them need some seasoning." You know what I mean? And they never really like it because they want you to kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, they want to move. They want to feel it.
So my dad opened my mind to that now. Yeah. My music choice was always like Neil Diamond in a primary school. So by the time I go high school, I'm there hard and know it's all them little youth and them uptown youth and man. Yo, what do you think about being man Bounty Killer War? What is that? What's going on over there? But totally uninterested. And that was like Gaza Gully them time then. You know?
So so the man must say, yo, Killer, Beenie Man, and you say Neil Diamond.
I can't say to them, but just stay quiet. One day the man them play me, our thing was say, we go, who no better show me, who no steal. You know what I mean? Cause me hear it all the time now, Artis. And then me hear next song, the kill from the K to the A, and something like that. I say, your body no listen to Toots. Yo, my youth, what you talking about youth? You know, uptown youth about. Me so part of uptown youth them too.
The accent.
Yeah.
Yes.
The uptown youth them. Why am I part of the uptown youth them now was, me already have ghetto youth in the Waters.
Right.
The ghetto youth them are hard and is like pretend ghetto youth.
Right.
I don't know the real youth. Them and cheesy blacks them par money in Moscow them, you know. So me already have me ghetto youth them already. Some of the Arden know me them youth are like lukewarm, and Arden wasn't a bad man school. Arden was such a punk school to me. It's an education school. Right. There was Calabar and them had that issue, the football match. You know, Arden not good at sports. Right. Academy. Jordan Maxwell spelling bee, Arden. Yeah. You must know. Yeah. So then, you know, we're a nerd. So remember them a fight the Calabar. One Calabar guy think fire shot at the school and the whole school run out. And the Calabar man them stand up in the school. Oh God, I joke with them this. You know what I mean? So from
your turf.
Yeah, I understood that. This school is not that school. Yeah. So them just part of uptown youth them. They sit in a tree up the front. And these uptown youths listen to Sixpence None the Richer. Kiss me beneath the bearded bar. Joel. That them I listen to. Bone Thugs Harmony. Tupac. Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean? Bone Thugs, I thought Bone Thugs was Jamaican. One of the youth them I know knew Busy Bone. Like for real.
Like knew in person.
I'm saying, yo, dog coming to you know, he's coming to I think Jamaica Grand, you know, to chill out, you know. I'm gonna check him, you know. You know what I mean? You're not a fascist still, my dog still. I'm gonna check him, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna see the man with the braid up here, I see the man on the beach for real. So I thought, because a lot of the uptown youth them used to rap too. Yeah. Now we used to rap Ladi Daddy too. Ladi Daddy, we like the party, don't cause something, no one nobody in a Jamaica. Yeah. So me never sure if Bone Thugs was like a uptown thing. Yeah. So I think Cable came in Portmore first. You know, back then it's dish alone you could watch. The big dish move. So Jack's Cable bus at Portmore. Now you have a scrambler box. Yeah. Start watch MTV. Right. VH1. And then me say, Bone, what you gonna do? Yep. I said, the youth them boss. Then I said, no, they're American. They're not Jamaican. And then again, fully loaded. Solid agency, them keep fully loaded at Portmore. Right. So Biggie come at Jamaica. Khalid them come at Jamaica. Khalid wasn't, the DJ Khalid them is today, but Genuine come at Jamaica. I think my youth get boo. Do some wind up. A lot of people get boo. You know what I mean?
Pills.
Yes.
Yep.
All of them come at Jamaica and stuff. It was fully loaded. Then the next year overloaded. Then extra loaded. And all these loadeds, you know what I mean? So then we used to go up there and see them. Everything I see on the TV, I see Foxy Brown and them kind of stuff. So then my mind was always open. So with the CDs now, the youth them are going to listen to the hip hop.
Yeah.
And the little white looking girls them up at the tree and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of them who used to go Vaz Prep and Hillel. They would listen to these nice Jewel records. Our next big one was a Dawson's Creek theme song. I don't want to wait till our time to be over.
Yep.
So, I want to get them CD from. I end up having my best friend go to Andrews, Daniel Roper. You know what I mean? That's the Garnet Roper daughter, big top Garnet Roper. That's my best friend for years. Her mom taught at Andrews too. So she have her parties that I would go at her house. And she have a friend named Catherine. The girl bust me upon a thing named Ultimate Dance Party in 1997. What is love?
Yep.
I said, what is this? It's called part dance music.
Yeah.
So then me hear a thing. Kiss miss you like the deserts miss the rain. And then me hear a next thing. We say, wanna be my lover. La da da di da. And you have an Englishman now that did the remix named Todd Terry. I buck him up at Jamaica Grand. Because Jamaica Grand is a place that we used to go school trips on.
Right.
So then I buck him up at Jamaica Grand and I buck up a next group named Ken Craft. They did a big stadium anthem. So we had game and them thing there too. So we used to play FIFA 97 soccer football game. And that was the song in the game. Wow. So I meet the Ken Craft them, some German man, enough up and know them, and they was just chill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm going to Jamaica Grand because my mom, Michael, used to have a school trip and stuff. So that's my musical thing.
Right.
So I get to understand the EDM. Remember, I grew up on this Motown and the Whispers. That become my sound.
Yeah.
I mean, like my personal sound. My brother and my sister, we have a thing what we do named Camp Time.
Right.
Every Friday evening, we would go in my sister's room, because we all have our own room in Portmore. I would tell you, so it wasn't really poor kids. Portmore is like middle class.
Right.
So we all have our own room. So we used to camp out in her room and should play all these songs. Then one mall built in a New Kingston, the New Kingston Mall, Chris Mall. See them have a music store, because my dad always buy CD and stuff and cassette. Guess what I go see that? Ultimate Dance Party 1998.
In a Jamaica.
Guess what they found that now?
Yeah.
Our house, in the middle of the street. That depend it now. Tainted love, sometimes I feel like,
Yeah.
what is this?
Yeah.
Till me start study this blondie thing and recognize, say, you have this man you know named Dave Stewart. So Dave Stewart hang out in Jamaica too. Dave Stewart girlfriend named Nadia, she's Jamaican. And Dave Stewart, I think it did, or maybe help with the Wait For You, Freddie McGregor. I'm not sure, somebody can correct me.
Right.
So I'll wait for you.
Right.
So when he does reggae, he does like this foreign kind of reggae.
Like a pop reggae.
So me I say, yo, me like this thing. So we start studying the Dave Stewart. So then now I'm gone off down into rabbit hole of that. Till me end up in a Fleetwood Mac. Guess what now? Caveman. Recognize me, I search through vinyl and I'm so into stuff. Caveman give me ABBA on a record.
Oh, snap.
Dancing Queen.
Dancing Queen.
Rastaman Caveman give me Dancing Queen and the whole album, The Voyage, for listen to, and the ABBA Gold. I'm saying, listen to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then him also had a Freddie Mercury Queen thing, you know what I mean? A Bohemian Rhapsody was a big thing for me. Then me and my dad started having a little thing. My father used to preach against the Beatles. Demonic music and preach at my father have a
The
whole
Beatles in particular.
Beatles. My father have a whole Bible study that he would preach and teach about the Beatles being demonic. The entire thing. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds and Lucy, all that stuff.
Right.
So then it's like, boy, I love the Beatles. You know what I mean?
But he wasn't having it.
Yeah, so him say, play anything else but that, man. You know what I mean? So I have to listen to Beatles quietly. Like the rock now, him already cross off. I'm on a highway to hell, you know what I mean? Even though I'm going to play that, but I like it.
Yeah.
I'm like the soul of them. You know what I mean? So
the instrumentation
of it. So now, let me tell you, so the drum now, I'm end up drum was really my primary instrument because I started getting paid at churches too, you know. You know what I mean? Them used to pay me like $1,000 to play. That's a lot of money.
Still in high school?
Yeah, man. High school, same. So I come to America. When we leave school, Arden, we never get much subject because I'm not a dunce youth. but it's like I don't test well. I'm a clock out from third farm.
Right.
That the music in my head.
Right.
So I'm not really invest that school. Just I want bench, wait for school finish to go for Caveman studio.
Yeah.
So then Caveman go move up a Mona Road now. So I can just walk out and go straight up. Caveman used
So
to be
after school, straight to the studio.
straight to the studio every day. So I stop go Michael. I'm start go Caveman now.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I'm really hungry, I go Michael. I get a bun and cheese and then go back at Caveman.
Because
You know
mom's
what I
is still up there.
Yeah.
Mad.
So then now, happens is now, to the Caveman time, I grew up now, end up start go Heidel. Never get no subject from Arden, and then my father was like, I have to make you go to a school. So Heidel move over to Ferry. Expensive. It was Coney Park it was before, and then changed to the school. And it's expensive school. I remember it was $23,000 a term. I was like, boy, I can't let them appear in a 3 term in a year. It's a lot of money.
Right.
So I said, boy, I have to go do a thing. So Arden level is so high. Me go Heidel go turn valedictorian. I was the valedictorian that year. Deliver the graduation speech. So
is it coming from? Wait a second.
I'm a dropout at Arden, but the Arden, because Arden graffiti, in the bathroom, is like a nerd put a formula up on a wall in Pythagoras theory. So if you tell the teacher that I want to go to the bathroom, he might go get the formula and come back up. You know what I mean? That's Arden. Yeah. So most school, if you go Woolmans, I go some. Mr. up at Calabar a lot, and Mr. up at JC a lot. Cause one of my brethren at JC go bathroom and say frost screw was here. Wait, was here? Where was here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I had formulas in the bathroom.
Pythagoras theorem on the bathroom wall.
Yeah, cosine and them thing that sign with him. So it's like subconsciously the school embed this stuff on you, and it was so good too. The first time Heidel went to school challenge quiz, I took them there.
Wow.
We get beaten 18-8, and the 8 question and me answer them. Heidel.
I can't imagine how proud the parents were at that point.
Yeah, man. Big up to Miss Hyacinth Bennett. She was the principal for Heidel and things. So,
did you have any idea them time there? Because right now you're a young youth, right? Exploring your options in music. But I guess based on what you're saying, you knew back then that this is what you wanted
my
to do.
father is a dreamer. Him is a talking dreamer kind of guy. He have a thing where a child shall lead the way. So what he would do for me, every time I'm playing the piano and stuff, he say, "Oh, you're not good in school. You can figure out this keyboard and this thing is so well. And come on, man, you're not good." My mom's a mathematician. My mom's the masters at math. Double masters my mom having in maths. Her first masters, when we moved into the US, they never grant Jamaican degree, so she had to do it over. So my mom is like a math whiz, you know what I mean? So then he couldn't get it, he couldn't understand, but what he would do, he would let me dream. So I'm saying, who knows, maybe one day you would be playing a concert hall in front of millions of people. So he put that imagery in my brain. I was like, maybe one day I could.
Right.
And then I used to read credits and CDs. So I used to see the Quincy Jones and the Berry Gordy and
the
you know what I mean, the producer and the musician them, the Funk Brothers them and thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gamble and Hutch. It's like, what's that? The writers, you know?
Yeah.
So I want to do that. You know who take me away? Burt Bacharach. So I want to be like Burt Bacharach. I made up my mind. So I want to be like Burt Bacharach.
Still teenager.
Yeah.
Coming up. Wow.
So I make up my mind. Said, no, I wanted to do entertainment law. I want to be a lawyer first.
Right.
Because I was just thinking that, this aristocrat background I have, I'd be a lawyer. So my father buy me a big thing. All you need to know about English law.
Right.
As in Jamaica, English law. So I read it, but I'm not a reader, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I read it, but then never sure of music being a career. We're leaving to come to America now. Father get redundant from cable and wireless, and I just think it's kind of done in Jamaica, you know.
Yeah.
So my mom says, well, it's offer in New York to go to teach at a high school because they were doing a Jamaica Teachers Exchange program thing. So my mom, we made the move to migrate to the US 2001. When I'm leaving now, when I go Heidel, is the first time I ever release a record. So I release a thing. There's this Rasta man used to call me Youngblood at a man named Jabby at Caveman. So I make my label Youngblood, right? And I have voice a youth named Scuba. He used to play ball at Woolmans. Blessed love to you, man. I said, blessed love to you. And I press the record at Gussie. Yeah, so I'm going with my dollar kind them. I'm see you. I'm back at dollar kind. I'm scandal back.
How much it cost you?
I don't know. When I bring it to him, him said, this is your lunch money? Your money you save? I say, yeah, impress it for free. Gary G was there too. And Gary G is like, he's like, go do this, you know. Do it for him, man. And him impress the CDs to me for free. Right. You know what I mean? And then I think I did get a stamper at Caveman for the record. Caveman make a stamper for me. So I didn't think I did press too much, but Scuba was my first record I released. So Youngblood was my label. Then I buck up Goofy when I came man. I said, yo, Mr. G, them name them. So listen, my label name Youngblood, you know.
Him have a label name Youngblood too.
Yeah, I forgot to change that, you know. But then, so yo, I go up at the Gregory Park. Remember, I'm a nerd, you know. So Gregory Park have a post office. So I go up at the post office, go register my Youngblood LTD, limited liability. So around that time now, 2000, I provide scuba. I go hide there. 2001, we make the move. We moved to America, August 2001. So I come America. Before I come America, now I get something from Caveman, a mixture of Caveman and some other guys. A list of studios in New York. Keelan Beckford, that's one. Dan One was 2. Sir Thomas was 3. Jalife was 4.
Right.
And then Bonnie Rerun also 2. Was, you know what I mean? Yeah. So when I go to New York now, Bonnie was in the Bronx. And then I don't know if I get around New York. I go Dan One. And I see plucky ranks and sluggy ranks. And it's a very intimidating studio. So I think Dan One kind of chased me away. I said, where you come from? So, back then Portmore wasn't a thing nobody talk about.
Right.
It's cartoon when people talk about Portmore. So a lot of people in New York would just find a place. Yeah, what else come from? People come from. Most of them are countrymen and anything, you know what I mean?
So they know the difference.
So when I go there now, I'm not telling nobody I'm come from Portmore. Say I'm come from Waterhouse. Remember the Olympic way every day.
Yeah,
and my family them run it too. Waterhouse. So no man, me don't want no bad man around here. Too much bad man around here already. You know what I mean? Dana V, them and Devon Clark. Original Devon Clark. I want to go Dan One.
Yeah.
So then him kind of pushed me off a little bit, you know. And he spoke to me. Because he's the one that mastered gun session for me, you know. Goodbye. And that man said, it's the best thing I do when I tell you don't steer on you, you know. Wow. And then would have maybe broke out. Yeah. You would have get a gun and, you know what I mean, right a Bedford and, you know.
Down the wrong path.
Yeah. So I'm going to go Jalife. No, I'm going to go Keelan for a minute. And Keelan now, Glenn Adams was there, rest in peace, Glenn Adams, Upsetters. So Glenn Adams is the original organist of the Upsetters, Scratch Perry Upsetters.
Wow.
So Glenn Adams now taught me how to properly shuffle. And my shuffle was more like a bubble. No man, you have to shuffle. You have to learn to shuffle. So your wrist is all in your wrist. You know what I mean? And then your shoulder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Glenn was in a wheelchair now.
Yeah.
Then there was a white band group from I think the UK called the Slackers. Slackers them do a song named with Glenn Adams named Schooling the Youth. When me and Glenn had played the organ. So was it Schooling the Duke? But them switch to Schooling the Youth. You can see the song on the internet too. Wow. And then it's like me, him schooling me on the organ. Yeah. So every time he goes so me go and then him switch. Him wheelchair come down for go play the next side and me have to spin back and go to the shuffle. Wow. And then him play the phrase. Wow. Cause I think I him play the Django. Dun 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 dun. The better must come. Him play all them heavy organ there that's like Glenn. You know what I mean? The Liquidator.
And he's coming from
he must scratch upset a band. Yeah. So that's it. So I never even talk to him about scratch. You know what I mean? None at all. Because him just have me in a school, you know.
Yeah.
But then Keelan had a record store down here. So Keelan now is the guy with the combination. Combination. Dun, 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 dun. So he have a store downstairs. Keelan's store at St. John and Schenectady is actually the first place Randy's, which is VP Records, started out.
Wow.
At Keelan too. So him give me that school in there too. I think him still at the record store this day.
But listening to you talk about, and this is something I tell people all the time, is that if you're when I listen to your output in terms of the quality records you put out, and guess what? Here's what more you do for me now, FX. Because sometimes we talk to some folks and the people are watching them and listen and they don't know who is who and whatnot, right? You are not the person who flashes the resume out there.
Yeah.
I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I ain't got no shit on my game, right? I want you, for the people who are, and Eric, what up? Suzette, what's popping? Everybody watching and listening right about now. Your resume as a producer, right?
Yeah.
Has eclipsed many people way your senior, age-wise, right? And just to hear you coming up on how natural, how organic it came up for you. Let's do some name dropping right about now. Let's do some name dropping, right?
All right.
Drop some names of some artists that the average folk. Because sometimes we talk about that person, I don't really know him, but he's a G. The average folk are gonna recognize him. Just name drop for a minute some folks that you've produced records for.
Alright, so Egyptian, Extentation, Sizzler, Movado, Half Pint as usual, Sanchez, and as a musician, like everybody.
Wow.
But as a producer, those are names I just call. Because sometimes I only call what I'm credited for.
Right.
Because if I can't prove it, I'm not even going to
So
talk
you
about it.
worked on a bunch of stuff, a bunch of names.
Only person in reggae I don't work with is Beres. I never work with him, but I work with everybody. I hear a rhythm, I say, oh, I played that. Because remember, sometimes when a producer release a song, it's just a producer name, and you're not gonna have no name there. Because him pay your feet.
Yeah.
But then I didn't like money from people either.
Right.
I don't know where to put it in my house.
Right.
So I never really want no money from nobody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the thing is, me don't want to come home with all of 10 grand. Cause back then a man would give all of 5 grand, you know? It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
$500 I get as a little youth for a thing, but true, me know it's juggies and hustle and them thing there.
Yeah.
And live up there, man, you know?
Yeah. Them deal with different.
Yeah. Them I say, well, I miss a Hector son. You know, I will give something strong, you know?
John,
You know?
I think about it because when I say, I hear, sometimes you see people doing things and you wonder, how did they arrive here? You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, a lot of artists, a lot of musicians, a lot of producers watch the show. And sometimes they hear me talk about the producers that I see doing it on a certain level. It's not, I mean, people are produced, so them say. Some people are beat maker.
Yeah.
But there's levels to this.
Yes,
right?
there is.
And in order for you to be producing and doing work with some of these guys, because they have the careers on the line too, right? They're not going to entrust it to anybody.
Yeah.
Right? So they have to trust you based on your resume.
Yeah.
We're going to cross genres for a minute right about now, right? The rest in peace, Triple X, right?
Yeah.
How did, that's hip hop.
Yeah.
And not just hip hop, it's borderline grunge, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
a different type of
Yeah.
music. How did you get from the church to the reggae
Yeah. To the hip hop.
with what at the time was one of the, if his light was not dimmed, probably would be one of the biggest right now names in hip hop.
Yeah, man. He's in the Guinness Book of Recording for the most streams ever as an artist, by the way.
Wow.
Knock off Taylor Swift, bigger than the Beatles, bigger than the Bob Marley, Michael Jackson, everybody. A sad cause, sad. The most streams in one day, 10 point something million streams one day. And that's what he got when you just passed away.
How that come about? You, Jon FX and Triple X.
So, all right. So now my hip hop thing, I said, listen to the music in Jamaica. We moved to America 2001. 2003, I meet Obsession. Obsession, the remix, Sizzler. Solid as a rock, they just can't stop me now. I ain't never scared with Bone Crusher.
Yeah.
So an Obsession did that now. Me and him link up now. And I say, yo, I'm going to show you this new formula. We're going to take songs and remix them up, make original tracks to them. So Ruben Sutter just won the American Idol. And him had a song saying, sorry for 2004. It's like a missed shot. It's like a drop the ball. Damn, I'm sorry. So we got the vocals. Because vinyl is, you go Beat Street back then. You get the vinyl and get the acapella too.
Yeah.
So we'll make a wicked reggae rhythm running. Mr. Shot, jot and bomb. And the bass line, damn, I'm sorry. Run, Brooklyn. Then we have a next one over there now, Mario. You should let, if you ever hear the Mario reggae remix, I did that. You should let me know. I played all the instruments too.
Wow.
Genuine Birthday SEX. I did that too. You know what I mean? Girl, you know, there's actually a YouTube and the thing where I'm actually making it with him beside me.
Wow.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. So Jeremiah, sorry.
Jeremiah.
So then, no, what happens now is I recognize that when hip hop and reggae merge, I watched the Woyo, Foxy Brown, and Spragga thing, and I remember Belly, DMX, and the thing. I was like, I like this combination. So I said, me Obsession, we're gonna do this thing. So Obsession, at the time now, Obsession always had drops from a lot of people. He good with a lot of people. So then we had this Akon and Young Jeezy record just came out. Akon and Young Jeezy trying to take it easy. Only way to go.
So you, that's you?
No, that's the original song.
That's okay.
So now we get the vocal. Obsession say, yo, FX, I want you to put this together. So Obsession now, Cartel just was like coming up. So Cartel and Assassin start war. Assassin have a song was like bang, bada, bang, bang, bang. Y'all cry for the John go, got the thing. So we say we're going to make over the rhythm there because we add Maya Steal it too.
Yeah.
So that rhythm called the Sleepy Dog. So we make a rhythm named the Brooklyn Dog. So what me I say by Cartel, Obsession.
Yeah.
FX.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So watch this now. If a big of Obsession now. Because when Cartel is voicing that, me there Florida, which brother? I mean, I locks at that time too.
Right.
I'm there Orlando with the one and thing. So when him play me the song now, I say, yo, take my name out of the intro now. I don't know, I told him to get along and
yeah.
me I'm more from the Rasta side too, you know what I mean? So then Obsession said, I ain't taking your name out, nothing, man. You know what I mean? So if you listen to the intro,
Yeah.
it's a me say, you know, it's Obsession, FX, Tech, Run Session, double we make. So
Yeah.
Tech 9 brought Cartel to Obsession, student to do dub plate and thing. Obsession say, yo, me have rhythm in him. See, I have no rhythm? I say, I have a rhythm man, and I use name FX. I think you might know FX, you know, because I'm coming from Portmore. Cartel don't know me. If I miss him come from Portmore, I say, play the rhythm in me here.
Yeah.
So he must big up every name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So no, here the problem now. When the song get together now, we say, all right, we're going to put it on the Akon remix thing. But we need our own intro. Akon have a acapella. No, Obsession have a acapella with Akon. But Akon did for him. Testing 1, 2, 3, it's Akon, the illegal alien. You know what I mean?
Right.
Green card and thing, you know, so illegal in America. So Obsession had that drop.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we just drop it. Testing 1, 2, 3, it's Akon. I made the intro. Illegal alien. I like Sizzla. Session not really too into Sizzla because I think when Dame Dash decided to sign Sizzla, there's a part way with Jay-Z and Dame Dash. So Jay-Z went Rihanna, Dash went Sizzla.
Right.
Sizzla was supposed to actually win because he had 70 albums at the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? But so we did that's fine with me. That Gavin and them and Foxy and stuff was around that time when that was being made. So Dame Dash did an album with Sizzla named Overstanding.
Right.
And track 7 is actually mine. I'm credited on that too. It's called Cost of Living.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I think Sizzla and Obsession kind of like when people give him nickname, you know? A man call him man fat and them thing, you know what I mean? I think Sizzla them call, yo, fatter, skinny, come here. You know what I mean? So we just got you with him. Him never like that at all. Them stop coming to the studio. So me now have one Sizzla my voice at Jamaica. And I'm saying, don't you fret for me. My guns go and get for me. So me decide I put that on it. It was in the same key as the Akon and Jeezy. So then, Shabba now, the Jack Creation dub plate. My voice had done one. Jack Creation, Bobulous, get lost. Shabba, him there, shut up, fire pan, shut up. Badwood.
Wow.
Fire pan, beer badwood in the song.
Yeah.
So the vocal, wicked. Remember, Obsession, and like Mr. C and Funk Flex, they grew up on Shabba.
Yeah.
So Obsession was like, yo, FX, I'm putting the Shabba in it. I said, no, man, we can't put it in the Jack Creation, them dope plate or something.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn. Make it work. So we chew it tonight.
Right.
I think he chop it up first. And we'll make it. But me decide to the bad with them can't play. Because it's, you know what I mean? Some lot of bad word.
Yeah.
So me decide, so I'm going to put some gunshot in it. Atta, fire pan, shut up. So me have that.
Right.
So on the record now, they said we have to do the intro over. Because the remix has to sound like a record. So testing 1, 2, 3. Hey, can you leave your Sizzla? Yeah, Sizzla Crunchy coming to your live. Shabba, him there. So me I say, you know, it's Cartel, Obsession, FX, Gun Session, Tech, Run Session. That's what we make. Hey, record. Goodbye. So now, and then the chorus now, the original chorus on Akon's record is, everybody know the game, go and stop, try to take it to the top when you have to. To me, that record was boring.
Right.
That's why you don't get the G's in it. I thought the G's was lazy to me.
Right.
Oh, me, I'm a soul survivor. Asking bottom in the street. I can't use it.
Right.
Because the energy go take up. Cartel go goodbye. So I used, I think, the bridge of the record. If you see me on the block disobeying the law,
Yeah.
real G's, the red from the street, pants keep on moving on. Yeah. So I know Shabba is coming in, have a keep on moving on. Shabba. And does he keep on moving on? Shabba. Yeah. Does he keep him there? Shut up. Fire. So when his chorus coming on and then, if you see me on the block disobeying the law, she's like, yeah, real G's, the red from the street, and then Sizzla Crunchy coming to your life. You know, see me? You know what I mean? Don't you fret for me. So I made it into a record. Here we go on with that now. The record, we did the record, I think, September 1st. September 2nd, we're still working on it. I think September 4th, Labor Day. The record get for a debut on the Parkway. I think
Labor Day, New York City.
Bobby cut the Panda Parkway in front of 2 million people Eastern Parkway. I think Bobby them must get the record. Somebody played Panda Parkway. Mr. C called Obsession personally. So yo, I'm gonna be late. Cypher don't get gas. Cypher got a feeling for me. I'm gonna be late. I'm coming to Brooklyn for the record. Mr. C cross what the bridge. I'm coming to Obsession give him the record in my hand.
Wow.
I'm saying, man, you don't know how big this is, man. Shabba has a brand new song that they never heard before.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we can't tell them I don't play it. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you. So when you drop records like that, right?
Yeah.
Because you put them together, right?
Yeah.
What's the reaction from the artist himself? What's the reaction from Shabba? What's the reaction from Akon?
I can tell you.
Yeah.
So then, my obsession of a company now we call Obsessed Effects. A label we used to have a white label I would distribute with Hitbound. I would send go Beat Street downtown, Brooklyn Beat Street, and we go Moody's with it and stuff. So I work the record. Now I never know. You can't sell it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because remember the original man them thing, and I see a company called Killer Cuts, white label it and I sell it. I say, oh, them boy, a white label with thing, badness, boy, I feel like, and me recognize the mafia.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they white label everybody thing and just press it. I said, go.
Wow.
So then, through the Shabba thing so big now, we have session was good with Lenny S, as Jay-Z cousin, Def Jam. So we decided we're gonna have a meeting with Lenny S for Shabba. Because what happened is Cartel wasn't as big yet, and I think Sizzler had that thing with Dame Dash already. So like Shabba would be the one that still open, you know what I mean?
Right.
I think, I don't know, Cartel had that thing with Green Sleeve at the time. Cause that album we released called the JMT album, Jamaica Meantime, had like, oh, you're a girl, you have a phone, and number one, so he was already in a thing with Green Sleeve. So Shabba would decide to go to meeting with. Shabba give me some vocal. Yeah. Which one of the vocals them, if you know the Cloud9 rhythm, there's a Shabba Sean Paul.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Smile shake gallon, give them the greeting. That was one of the vocals he gave us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So me love vocals. So I have that pocket. So I made that, the meeting we had with Def Jam the morning was for Shabba. So all I have at the remix, Obsession said, man, you gotta make some records. So alright, we have 3 Shabba vocal. We have a vocal unreleased, a song was said, dig like a clap. You know, boy, it, but I'm gonna release shot them both, them kept me have that unreleased. Still, I forgot to talk to Shabba them about that. But then I have this verse, the smile shake girl. So I was watching, there's a throwback on BT of Arsenio Hall shows.
Right.
I used to watch by Obsession. And there was a thing, a performance just come up with Shabba and Mr. Loverman, Shabba, Mr. I was like, yo, champion, no, Mr. Loverman, them call him Mr. Loverman, and the Arsenio Hall show. And I said, hold on, I'm gonna make a beat like that.
Yeah.
So I decide, I was messing around with, ooh, gotta you on with tonight. So I end up go, so I end up get that Cloud9 with him. So I had a Sean Paul vocal I have from Snow Cone, because Snow Cone and Stone Cold are 2 different producers.
Right.
Snow Cone, I get it from in Jamaica. So it was Fiona and Sean Paul. Baby,
Yeah.
I'll be right by your side when you are out town. So then we make the rhythm around that. And then put the Shabba in it. Smile, shake, girl, and them degree, bosses eat, company about me. So I have that as the record we're going to use as the record that Def Jam can release. Sean Paul was super hot at the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So then we're going to play this remix that everybody love. And we're going to play that and then at the Glocker Slap. So 3 records. Shabba went on Hot 97 now. So yeah, man, Obsession FX my record right now, you know. Big thing that. And him call up on the phone to us, oh, now my producer, you know.
Live on here.
Yeah. So we're going to meeting. So decide to go to meet, you know. Uncle Neville was the guy. It was Xanadu always on Shabba, and Uncle Neville like had the say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they had a meeting now, they had a Def Jam meeting now. Wait for Shabba. Apparently Uncle Neville tell him, no, Shabba not coming, you know. Him don't come to see, look see. Because they wanted to know if a check gonna be cut or not. So we must meet with them first and figure out if them want, and then if them want Shabba, then him come. I mean, I understand Uncle Neville. Obsession is American.
Right.
So Obsession never to dig that.
Right.
Yo, FX, yo, they played us, man.
So, yeah,
So-
I can see why he's feeling
So
it.
I see what him said with it. I mean, I understand him about that part. So I think it kind of let him down because he used to play for Liberal Love. You know what I mean? With a select and Liberal Love. But remember, he's American. So he had other people that, you know, Fridge them and BBQ and thing, you know. And, you know, Stir Fish, I think they play. I remember, but my fish was good, you know.
Right.
And things. So anyway, it's like from that time, that deal, it kind of break with spirit a little bit. But true, I've had so much of this uphill. I don't expect too much in music.
Right.
Me personally, over the years, I just always wanted name credit. I don't want no money from nobody. 'Cause I know they're not going to give it to me. Publishing them not get either. So I'm saying, let's put my name on the things. Anyway, when we did the remix now, I think some people maybe have an assumption that we got some money for it. But the remix is not official. We can't release it, can't sell it. So sometime when we talk to even Shabba, he might, you know, You might say, yo, me, I got time. I said, no, make no money. I fight for real, man. Trust me. You know what I mean? No, Cartel, no, him love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Remember, my link with Cartel is recent. You know what I mean? Because back then he never knew, he didn't voice it for me. He voiced it for Obsession. He just called my name in the Obsession and tell him, say, I'm a partner that will make the tracks with me.
Right.
So, Sizzler now, him is either here nor there when he come on to anything. Sizzler just want the song buzz and it go out there. Him thing is like that. That's why I put out albums like that.
Yeah.
You get it out. Him know.
He's not on a lot of albums.
Yeah, now I'm really concerned about him publishing and things like that because, you know what I mean, you know, artists must have that, you know, in them time. So, but then there's a remix that kind of run the place and he had a stronger remix. The Rastaman though apologized to Akon. That's why they did that.
Right.
Because they did it because it's like, yo, I'm on a song with Akon. I got the locked up remix with Breadback them. Yeah, Breadback. Tell their friends the Rasta, you know what I mean? And the intro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dada, them say for apologize, blah, blah. So then that song, big one, you know? So then that put me in this hip hop thing. Young G's, you know, drop a record. When he play that new G's, all the dope boys go crazy.
Right.
Jeezy. Send a vocal to Obsession. That vocal. Zane, at the time,
was that knowing that you got for you guys to work on?
Yeah, that's a direct link now.
Right.
So now, because I know it maybe feel away for not being on the gun session. The gun session was so big. Hot 97 would replace as soon as they play, hey, Connor, Young Jeezy, they go, double we make, hey, goodbye, and they play the remix.
So them now play the original.
They don't play the original.
Wow.
Because our energy, remember the original is everybody nothing ain't gonna stop. That's the chorus. Yeah. And then this chorus is, if you see me on the block disobeying the law, it have a more vibe, you know.
Yep.
So the energy, because I understood it's a bridge, so it's gonna take the record up. But Akon bridge match with Shabba verse now and Cartel's intro.
Yeah.
And even staging the record, I had to be careful. Cartel wasn't as big yet. I couldn't put him on the end, because then the record wouldn't play out there.
Right.
And then I couldn't put Sizzler up in the thing because Shabba is who they want to hear, and I can't put Shabba in the front either because they might not play down the end.
But you know what I hear a lot from you, FX, is this strategy.
Yeah.
And there's another thing you spoke of earlier. I'm gonna want to slide that out a little bit. You mentioned that you guys were working the record, right? I feel like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like that's something that our genre doesn't know how to do.
Don't know how to do.
They don't know how to work records.
Yeah.
And them just feel like, yo, a selector get some money, I give him a little change. And that selector is supposed to figure out how to break the record, right?
They don't understand it.
They don't do radio promo. They don't make the efforts to break the record. And once you said that word, break the record, I'm going to ask you about that. Talk to the masses watching, because again, like I said, a lot of artists, a lot of musicians watching, about working a record. You do a record, right?
Yeah.
You and I spoke about this before, where the microwave mentality. We do the thing right about now. Them drop a thing, and in another week, another one is coming out, right?
Yeah, man.
You say it's like 57 weeks.
Yeah, man. 57 weeks it take to break a reggae record. You know what I mean? Nobody enough to know what's 57 weeks. Egyptian Holy was 68 weeks. It's a year plus. You know
Talk
what I
to
mean?
me a little bit about working the records.
So happens is, because linking with Obsession now, remember, I have my Jamaican brain. So I be a musician and make some rhythm for some guy. So in Jamaica, you had some strategists in our business, very few of them. A lot of guys was producing, but they weren't strategists. The only strategy them know, you have a link, you know, the IFM, you know, pay the man for play the thing, and that's it.
Yeah.
But then you had some Robert Livingstons, Gussie Clark, these are strategists. Donovan, these guys are thinkers. So them already know. So, all right, they might call us pirate. All right, even though we run England, there's brains going on over there. There's people at the studio and they're all thinking. Stephen Stanley, the engineer. No man, you can't put that up there, man. That can't work. You know, that is not radio friendly.
Yeah.
So you had those guys, and there were a bunch of brain people that are thinkers. In today's studio is a little man, a bonus spliff. Dog, you think of good, you know. It want a little bit of energy. Yeah, man, hit that now, man. Press it. A little double track it and hard live it. Those are the words that the beat makers know.
Right.
Back then, a man would say, that's not your cadence, you know.
Right.
You know what I mean? DJ, tilt your head at 90 degrees down a little bit for me, no? So if you go, yo, fishing, now you tell the rest of your body. If you go 90 degrees down, you get, fishing, now you tell the rest of your body. The man's ready and go shake. You know what I mean? You get a deeper bass out of your voice by tilting your head 90 degrees.
Yeah.
So there's these techniques of vocal production.
That's where a producer comes into play.
Yeah. And then now, working the record now, you would already dot those I and cross those T's. So you recognize where this record is going. Now, this is not a street record. Alright, this I just wanna be close to you. This is a record that needs to work at a certain thing. You have any connection to the press? It's a different set of thing now.
Right.
Where you have to have newspaper, you have experts that work in records, you have to hire them. PR, you have agent.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have a total different agent, but different from PR. A man work record like they have a picture of the record that they see. So I used to watch interviews with Chris Blackwell and how they work legend. So they work legend like a regular police sting record, like a UB40 record, and they work Bob Marley legend. They work like a regular record. So their whole thing was, okay, we need to make sure the artwork is appealing enough so Rolling Stones magazine can carry it and stuff like that. So when they're working records, they're thinking of the world. What happens in Jamaican music over the years, we have a lot of buck-up record. I mean, how we get buck-up record now? Rhythm. If you have 20 songs
Right.
and a rhythm. And this is why my formula changed when I came to America. Because I recognized, hold on. Because I seen it in Jamaica, but I couldn't explain it until I moved to the melting pot, Brooklyn.
Right.
Where the different islands are.
Right.
Because then there's some songs I would call uptown reggae. It's a bookshelf rhythm. The way them girls are beautiful, I'm going to put them on my bookshelf. Big in a waterhouse. And they big in some inner city. But I went uptown to drip and to adrenaline rush them party. And me here, can't say, oh, you know, say I'm a nasty. On the same rhythm. I said, this no play waterhouse. What is this?
Right.
An American record? They must say, no, I'm on a Jamaican song. But those are uptown reggae. To me. You have a next one now. Things I get hard, and England jungle, them a fire gun shot. And I'm here, big fat pit, burning from the sky. So who's that? There's a soca artist. When I came to America, I would go to like the Juve them after the Labor Day, because the Labor Day is where I took my notes. That was just, I couldn't go carnival at Jamaica. My parents free up a little bit in America. You know what I mean? So I'm go there now, I'm look, recognize. So after that, you have the backyard party them, Brooklyn, and the Trinidad and the Guyanese. And the reggae that they would play is what I would see as uptown reggae. Uptown people in Jamaica love carnival, and these reggae are light. But them depend on the same rhythm. So then when the buzz rhythm drop now, but they are Brooklyn, buzz rhythm, ta-tam, 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 tam-tam. Guess what, I run the place? She don't really need that time, friend. You know, guess what, I run the place again? Black woman say, pum, 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 Guess what, I run the place again? Press sugar with no press equal button. Street record them,
Yeah.
But then upon the same rhythm, ta-tam, ta-tam, tam-tam, just give me the light, and that run the world.
Right.
So, whoa, I go back to the drawing board now. Why is it that song run the world? The first thing you say, no, 'cause I'm brown.
Yeah.
Brown boy.
Uptown youth.
Say, yo, me know Jeremy Harding.
Yeah.
Me I go ask some question.
Yeah.
Me don't know him personally. We just know people around him, and Maury Elias at the time was Sean's A&R. Me that try to get in that film little circle, you know?
Yeah.
So then Maurice asked him to manage me at the time. Then I started to figure out how that record move. You know what I mean? So well, Jeremy Harding in Jamaica, and him father is an attorney. So then he's a thinker, I can tell. No Jeremy though? Sean Paul name I think is Henriquez. Jeremy worked the record in Puerto Rico. So the Puerto Rican them in Brooklyn tell me say Sean Paul a Puerto Rican. You know what I mean?
So that's where it come from.
Yes.
To this day when people say, nah man, Sean Paul a Puerto Rican.
Yeah, that's what they come from. So when the Bronx youth them I tell me say, nah, he Puerto Rican, his last name. So he like tung tung man El General, they just have him as a, this is like El General, Sean Paul the same thing. So, no. So Jamaican. So they thought he was, I think so Jeremy just run with it. So the record pick up organically amongst the Puerto Rican guys, almost like they always sing over reggae stuff. So I even hear Hold You, not in Natasha. She's big now. She sing Criminal. Tampa tampa tonto, paquero capetonto. She sing that, and it was big over there.
Wow,
you know what I mean?
Wow.
And things like that. So what happens is now, what Jeremy Harding do is a strategist. So he market this record, and then what Sean had now, Sean was appealing to the eyes. He's not an ugly guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Jeremy Harding work that and work, and the record work. So Maury tell me now what him do.
Yeah.
Maury's good. He's a white bridget, you know what I mean?
Right.
And Jewish guy. Maury used to be cool. I think he used to work at Profile or Big Beat, one of them company there. And that was Craig Kalman.
Right.
His company. Back in the day. You know what I mean? Craig is the CEO of Atlantic now.
Right.
So Maury was been telling this Craig Kalman about this Sean Paul thing. Reggae streggae, you know what I mean? I paid no mind.
Yeah.
So then Sean give me the light, Premiere and BT. That's when Atlantic was like, well, seems like a thing we should pay attention to. But I think Sean get an offer. I think from Epic. That's why I see the strategy. That these are stuff that, they don't really make, but I have to mention it because we're talking. So Epic make him an offer. When Epic made the offer in Atlantic, he's like, what? Yo, we're going to thump the offer up a little higher.
Bidding war now.
Yeah, the bidding war. And that's how I seen it. And then when they have Sean now, strategists have to be thinking, need a follow-up. The Wally rhythm drop. Me and Michael got one city lock. And get thing I with this one. So then Lenky and these guys are thinkers.
Yeah.
Musicians who are actually thinkers. So Lenky know, say Wayne song is a commercial song, but they need a special phrase. Wee, wee, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah,
So it have a different. Got somebody. His rhythm is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because radio picking it up now.
Yeah.
Sean rhythm have got different now. So they're going, get busy, those chords are the pen. The same, you can meet me at the party, same rhythm.
Yep.
But then these songs were commercial because I could tell that a strategist is behind these records to get them radio ready. So
hold up. That's a strategy, right? And that's one strategy employed for getting them records out, Let me ask you this. You mentioned him like Sean Paul, right? To me, one of the best to ever do it commercially, right?
Yes.
No question about it. Then you have the Shaggies of the world. You mentioned Robert Livingston, all them names, right? That was then.
Yeah.
Do you think, because if evolution takes course, strategies can't always be the same. Is it behind us now seeing major labels courting and working with? This comes up a lot from people here.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why, because they just had a cranium situation. So that should tell you that it can't happen, right?
Yeah.
But is it gone?
No. What happens is, I remember I was talking in an interview. I think it was in Jamaica. We're talking about reggae. I was like, oh, reggae is dead. No, reggae is not dead. Because what I think they should have called the dancer that was coming in 2007, they should have called it a different name, fusion. Dancehall or something else. Yeah, because what happens is now when you go reggae, they're not making it, and it's not the mainstream people not making it, but it's not like it's not being made. Because G Cole make it. I hear your song a while ago. It's an amazing song. You're making it. It's 2022. The record you just released.
Right.
So you're making it. People are making it, but the mainstream not really doing it. So what I recognize is it's almost like it's on pause. I thought it was gonna go in. Afrobeat made me nervous. But I have big Afrobeat song with Goya Menor, no Brother Man single that I just produced. When I check the Burna Boy and I check it, I said, hold on. But as big as he is, he still hasn't even reached the Shaggy level. Yeah. And then the thing is, it's not a competition.
Right.
It's the time for Africans to get their thing. Miriam Makeba paved the way. Fela Kuti paved the way. Them have their thing.
Yeah.
But we should keep doing our thing.
But what happens is this: whenever we see something else, and you tell me if you see this, we vacate our thing for something else.
For something. I remember in Jamaica, a lot of the kids them and the uptown youth I used to par with, and uptown kids is who become the politicians and the influencers of the country when them stop smoke weed and them thing there.
Right. When they go back to reality.
I'm saying, you settle down yet, man? Or the rotty do you? And then them settle down. Them say, Daddy, I want to run.
It's your boy.
I see a wig.
He said, Dad, I want to run for MP now. Are you ready now? Find a young lady I'm married to and get start the foolishness. I want you to be Minister of Health. I have a connection there and here and there. So it's those same people who become your stuff. And then what they do, they didn't really like reggae like that.
Yeah.
Uptown, they don't like the real roots reggae. I was telling you earlier, I was saying there's a thing I call Uptown reggae.
Right.
I wanna make love with you. I wanna reach out and hold out your hand. That's Uptown reggae.
God, that kind of vibe.
Yeah, you're not gonna hear we're coming in hot. Not Uptown. Not gonna hear that up there.
Yeah, true.
Peter Tosh, you know what I mean? So what happens is, what I found out now is the Almighty in this earth have pendulum and time. Afrobeat having a time. Reggae had a run. And the guys of reggae had a run. So it don't surprise me at Shensia getting a little thing now and Spice getting a thing now. Because the guys, it really dominate.
So now,
you know what I mean? The woman time.
Swing.
Yeah, pendulum swing. It's just exchange time and I don't fight it.
Yeah.
Because I was saying it before, my dad thought music of the 80s was utter rubbish.
Right.
My father thought Zungu Zeng was foolishness.
Right.
And many producers back then, that's not music, man. You know what I mean? So then, each time, when Elephant Man them coming, Dancing Angel, Hello, Moses, the man them in the 80s, like, what kind of foolishness is this? And then Ellie them now see, the youth them and the young youth. Some boy them man they not even them can't even DJ straight. Them can't even DJ on a sound.
So every generation is frowning upon the generation.
And the other one, yeah. So when I link with the Extentation, it changed a lot for me. When he came to the studio, he had a record named Look At Me that was playing already. The record this started. My brother Andre mixed the studio, the record up the studio up the street. So this no mix. This started.
Right.
But that's how you wanted it. So then the Joyce Floyd is the one I recorded, and I was like, I don't like this genre. Don't do depressing to me. But then I recognize there's a story in it. This is their interpretation of their experiences. You know what I mean? So I have to accept it. You know what I mean? Because I have children his age too.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like, okay. You can't, because if you frown upon us, you're stuck. You won't move again, you know.
Yeah.
You won't get another hit, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you won't be able to partake in the new drum sounds and the thing. And I remember when I used to watch a Steely and Cleavy tape on the internet, and they were saying Steely is a keyboard player and bass player, and Cleavy is a drummer. So Cleavy is like, well, the drum machine has more dynamic onto an untrained drummer. You know what I mean? This can make an untrained drummer sound like a drummer.
Right,
so I recognize that the whole Penthouse catalog and all that a drum machine.
Drum programming.
Yeah. It's just that musicians just playing it.
Right.
Some man knows if you go tum boom tum boom tum 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 boom tum boom tum tum. You have to make room for the snare. So go tum boom tum 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 tum. You know what I mean? So these guys are musicians who know. So you can't drum roll and hi-hat play at the same time.
The irony in that is this, because we've had this conversation with folks before when they say we celebrate reggae and dancehall. Jamaican music, so we have a purist culture, right? Where we want to look at it as purists.
Yeah.
But we also don't want to face the reality. There was a time when, because some people won't accept the fact that commercially, as much as they frown upon dancehall, commercially, dancehall has been more commercially successful than reggae music.
And I was just going to go there for you right now.
Right.
Because I want to show you what changed the entire sound. A lot of people, I was talking to some artists last year when they saw the Grammy thing, everybody upset when the Soldier won. Congratulations to Soldier. And when they won, everybody's upset. It's like, hey, these guys do reggae, you know. So everybody, when you talk to a Jamaican guy, you know, I'm saying, yo, man, go back to the real reggae. He's thinking that One Drop is the reggae that the commercial urban world in America like. America don't really like One Drop like that. It's only California. When America loved reggae, it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Patra, Pull Up to My Bumper, Baby, and Grace Jones, and Dinah King, and Shabba. That's the version. When you talk to an American, he say, man, I love that reggae, that boom, boom, boom. So you know it's dancehall, right? You know what I mean?
They don't know.
So, and the reason why the One Drop that we have is not easy to dance to. It drop on a 3. 10, 1, 2, 10, 1. The world dance to a 2.
Reggae and groove music, man.
Yeah.
Reggae is chill, relax, smoke a thing, drink a thing. Dancehall you can dance to.
Yeah, so the dancehall now, because it drop on a 2, the beats now is not dropping on a 2. No. So American dance to this. Dun dun ish dun 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 ish 1 ish 2 1 2 1 2. We all up in the 1. Up with the dub, mama. Up what you 1 2, right? Cardi B. Yeah, some then the you know what I mean? So what happens is now when that is the sound that they dance over. Dancehall used to drop on is a 2 and. She ain't got 1 2 1 so it added an extra little vibe to the radio. You know what I mean? She got me crazy. 1 2 1. Girl say and you know say man. Dancehall start dropping on a 5 2007. You know what I mean? When me rise me care, me beat it like a slave. Some boy this so then you have to do a lot more acrobatic dances. Yeah, spin the bird. Go like the bird. A lot of extra stuff. You can't do the basic bogle again. Then the groove change. So we're going to groove change now. The world step back and they always love third world music. They always want a third world song because people feel like it's they discovering it. If I tell you, hey, I love you, fill that gap. When reggae start having a decline, give me a number, I want to call you. That start filling the gap. You know what I mean? Because it feels better and it's happier. So our music now, even our party songs, them depressing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
It's
then trick me and what the hell is that?
You know, you mentioned that because that's something we talk about also. Is
Gunman in Sheol.
Bro, right
that's
now,
a funeral song, you know?
And the world can't digest that.
I am going home on the morning. I love the song, them, but I'm just telling you.
Bad because we are the culture and we know the culture. But the world can't digest that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned just now, and it's funny, I had people, yo, go ask them question. You mentioned just now the evolution. That's what we've been talking about, right? So what we see, this whole trap dancehall era came through, and that's another pendulum swing, right? But it was one of those changes in the genre that, to me, only entertained
the local youth them.
The local youth them and the domestic fans, right? Because it's like an imitation hip hop.
Yeah.
And why take the imitation? The world and America at large is not going to take an imitation hip hop when there's real hip hop.
Then the real
You know what I'm saying? So is the fad gone? Because me not tell no lie. It's funny, people talk about trap dancehall. You know, so me can't identify one trap dancehall song. I hear them on the mixtapes and stuff like that.
But me can't identify them.
I can't identify
they
them.
all sound like the same one. Tell you why I know. There's a schooling that I get at Circle House one day. During the Rihanna album time thing, right? Is everybody's playing stuff and playing songs. And a very prominent person, I can't call him name here. And him is the man who cut the check on Def Jam. And he has 3,000 songs from all over, all the Jamaicans that give him songs. And him said to me, say, but when I Jamaican man, if you meet any Jamaican artist, they'll tell you, yo, G Cole, my thing bigger than reggae, you know. A R&B my thing there too, you know. Watch out, I sing a silly Indian feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't sing I can feel, you know what I mean? And in our brains, because we love R&B, in our brains, we're making something else. And if you talk to any little Jamaican person, man, listen to reggae like that, no, my thing different, you know. So when they go to the international market, every time I hear a man on a song, I hear them. That's why I never, when I did the Gun Session remix, never want nobody voice back. Because they maybe gonna rap on it. We want that thing. So what I recognize is I was playing, including myself. When you go meet the people and the Rihannas and stuff, you tend to want to play them hip hop and EDM and blah blah.
Yeah.
A certain A&R pulled me outside. It's a FX. I've heard so much hip hop. We have this all day long in EDM. Please don't play none.
Wow.
So can you play me you? So I'm like, whew.
Wow.
Didn't have that playlist set. So I'm just play something. You know what I mean? So I play some one drop and something, thinking that original reggae is what they want. That still don't move radio. Sean Paul least big song was the I'm still thinking. It wasn't like a 6-time platinum.
Yeah.
Like
We
temperature.
just loved it.
Because we can connect with that.
Yeah.
The reggae is a mid-tempo, so they love. It's why the Jam Rock did so well.
Right.
Jam Rock is a steppers. Remember, Jam Rock could be one drop, you know.
Yeah.
It could go. But that's not what slide them do.
Right.
Them go. 1, 2, 1. And what tell you about that 1, 2?
Brother,
You know what I mean?
Something a while ago that again I've had this conversation. It's when people do dancehall very well, people think of reggae.
Yeah.
They do it so well that people think of reggae.
Yeah.
Gang,
Yeah, man.
Assassin, no,
Yeah.
Sasko.
Yeah.
Do dancehall so well that people think of reggae.
It works well because there's a dynamic. It's like when a man come to Jamaica, they're not looking for a bleach out face youth at that. Well, you don't know the rough and struggling a dog. They're expecting to see a Rasta man with a coconut jelly. Ari man, have a drink, man. One love.
Feel good.
So I recognize that we would call that watered down. That's the music they want from us. Because they already have the EDM for that. They already have the hip hop for that. They would think of Jamaica. They says, I didn't know Jamaica had ghettos and violence and stuff. They had the stories and beach and sand.
One love.
Yeah, one love.
One love. Feel all right.
And that's the thing. So what I find out now, being here, my thing is to interpret. You know, I think Chris Buckle did this thing very well, where he would radiofy and get Bob Marley records palatable for the world. So that's where I did come in. But a lot of labels use me to get records radio ready. You know what I mean?
But you know, that's again the importance of radio records. There's something, and we find this in hip hop too. It's just that in hip hop culture, because it's mainstream, people have a long time say, yo, we need to do this and we need to do that, and forget what you want. So you can be underground all you want.
People get upset.
People get upset.
Yeah.
But when it comes to our records, the reggae records, people don't realize that it needs to be radio records, and that's the reason why when we complain on people say, yo, I keep hearing the songs from California, Hawaii, but it's because they're freaking radio records, bro.
And then I want to go back to the trap dancehall to one of the reasons now why the beat them sound like this. The producers today, I call them beat buyers. You know what I mean? So I'm hustler, scammer man, I buy some rhythm. And a guy give me a bunch of rhythm. And then who's making the rhythms now? In hip-hop. Hip-hop don't have signature tracks either anymore.
Yeah.
So like you hear tam 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 panam tam, and you know that record is coming on. You hear a phrase, and then you know that the Black Crab, you know that's the record.
Right.
So hip hop today don't have a signature Fred, reggae used to have you hear that? Oh man, you know it's coming in already.
Yeah.
The whole year. It's another rhythm them don't have signature. Then my brain, there's not even a person playing phrase around the thing. You know what I mean? Even when you were tam 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 tam, West Kingston a real bad man. And a real bad man, you know what I mean? There's no phrasing signature making the record have its own fingerprint. So when I hear it now, that can't be a hit.
It just get lost.
I don't care how big the songs are.
Yeah.
When I'm on, I say, yo, that thing I run the place, and I'm say that's a signature in it. Because what happens is it won't stick out enough to the world. You know what I mean? So like when you hear the you hear phrase. I remember when a producer is in the studio, or a person who have a brain, he knows that. Remember, in Jamaica, there's nobody with a budget planning to spend a budget on a record either, correctly. So when you're spending a money on a record, now a man have to hire the proper professional. Say, listen, well, if I get this mixed properly, if I carry the files out, take your Fruity Loops track and make a carry it up and go mix this on the board.
Yeah.
But when you bring it up there now, you have to spend a money now. I say, oh, the record I got big. I go find FX, I go find somebody like that. You know what I mean? Who work records. Or even Willie Daniels or somebody. I say, it's a good record, but I think you should move the bridge and put it there. The chorus take too long to come in, and the chorus sound like a verse. You have guys who tell you that stuff. So again, the buck-ups formula is what a lot of these new age youth using, but the rhythm stop. I think I was maybe one of the people that maybe started the rhythm stopping thing. When I did the Cloud9, it was just, I just didn't want anybody else on it. It was just Egyptian, I Can Feel Your Pain, was the Champagne Shower thing remix. I Win, Book of Life, Bascom X Fire King. I think that's it. Yeah. So it was just 5 people under it. I didn't want it because I wanted to start pushing more singles. Because there was so many rhythms out the place. But then, if you listen to the I Can Feel Your Pain, there's guitars in it. There's a guitar going, you're the one I've been waiting for. I played the guitars around the Egyptian song. And I named the rhythm after Turbulence. See me floating on Cloud9. What that rhythm taught me.
That's when they're bad enough.
Yeah. Because I go play the guitar on the Egyptian song. It automatically became the hit. Because people just subconsciously just love that song.
Right.
Because the guitar was playing in all the songs.
Right.
The Egyptian song became the beat. And that taught me how to become a producer. Wow. I was a beat maker back then, I must admit.
Right.
That was like 2008. You know what I mean? A beat maker them time.
So it's like 2017 you became a producer pretty much.
Yeah, I would say, 2017, yeah. I put out the Sizzler album myself with no label, the iMirrors album, I put it out, and it took me, I had to get artwork done. I thought I could mix. When I hear Nah Let Go, Egyptian Nah Let Go, that I go mix around at the studio there, so I was like, this song too bright. The hi-hat too bright, the vocal too loud, the snare too fat. Oh God, I should have, them to give me money, I should have paid Banzai or somebody to mix this, you know. So
that's what come to Jesus moment.
Yeah, and then the thing is, I have a song with Extentation, 8-time platinum, that has me on it as mixing engineer. But I knew that for 20 something years I was not mixing engineering. I was making beats. So there is a guy on the planet that's been mixing for 30 years or 40 years. I think he's gonna mix better than me. He's gonna so
and you got no problem dishing the ball to the person who's
Cloud9 mixed by Banzai, you know. It's Banzai mixed Jamrock, you know. I had to find him, you know. And when me think it mix, I think Neil at VP, the FX, something about this record, you know, it's like a finish, you know. You know what I mean? I would say, alright, I call Banzai. Banzai tell me the price. I said, what? The price there. Yeah, I can put that a down payment for a car. You know what I mean?
There's a reason why he charging that price.
Banzai have was a 4 Grammy or 7 Grammy or something like that. You know what I mean?
Why he charging them prices?
Marley's only use him. And he makes a lot of other stuff too. You know what I mean? And
that's Cali guy that flies in, right?
Yeah. So, and then you have Gary Noble, rest in peace, Gary Noble, man. Gary mixed. Here comes the hot stepper, like anything commercially reggae. Here comes the boom. He was like Salam Remy's guy, you know what I mean? And just passed away. I said, damn it, man, I needed Gary to help me mix the remix of this vintage album I put out.
Well, you know, it's funny. It's funny as I soak this. All right.
Yeah.
Your flair, your style, and we're talking about remixes, technically it's modern era of reggae, right? From the Renaissance time frame or whatever that was, let's take reggae dance or whatever, and then we start doing the remixes, right? That's the modern start, and that's where your start's coming off as a big beat maker, evolving into a producer. So a lot of your stuff is the modern stuff, the modern era, but yet still, your album, right?
Yeah,
it's so like this.
Yeah.
What me say me love the album and FX, man. Trust me.
It's my favorite song, you know.
This song?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Christ.
Oh man.
Take the train to meet me. All in the rain. All in the rain. Maybe you take the train to meet me. All in the rain. All in the rain. On this lonely afternoon, see my love is coming soon. Another chance to meet again. Running through the stormy rain. Come back. No more misery.
Brother.
All eternity.
Like I told you before, if this don't come up on final, me I go vex.
No man, wait for
Yeah,
the.
go
I made the order already.
Brother, it's so, again, you are the modern man when it comes, because thinking about taking the formulas from back then, you said Chris Blackwell, Bob Marley, bringing them into now so we can get these records out to the world the way they did it.
Yeah.
But you're the modern man. But the sound on this, it don't get no more vintage on this, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, if you ain't got the album, you need to go get it. Trust me. It's called Vintage Reggae, Jon FX. This song's called Train. I feel Nora Jones. I feel everything in this.
Yeah, man.
Don't miss this rendezvous on this lonely avenue.
By the way, the vocals, the way you sing that song too?
Yeah.
I murder.
I was trying to sound like Anita Baker and
Rich
what the man
House.
name again? No, the man Michael McDonald. I can't forget not in Lord anymore. Take the train to reach me. So I you know that kind of what. So why really? Let me just skip to this album. Why did this album? You know, Grammy 2022, Grammy 22. I was nominated. He nominated for Jesse Royal album and thing. And while we go Grammys, me and Sean, we all partied the night before the Grammys and we were happy. We saw, so everybody was there. A good vibe. Gramps, everybody was in the party, you know what I mean? And when the next, before we went there, I knew the Grammy rules from before. And I knew it was hard for us to even win. Because it has to be 51% reggae. And I knew
A majority of these so-called reggae albums are not.
the album we have. I remember, I think the world of reggae constitutes reggae as tang, tang, tang. That's not on Spice album. I think Jesse Royal had the Lion them. We on the Lion them good. And then the one I did, the Natty. Still love the Natty Dre because bass I played on that.
Right.
You know what I mean, for him. And I know Sean had like a reggaeton type of album. And it's almost like if you're going up with that and then somebody has the real authentic kind of sound, it's hard for you to even beat them. So then,
regardless of what they look like.
yeah. So then the next year, no, I think that same year I did put out a retro. No, I think the next year I dropped a retro album, a retro dancer. So I know everybody love. I was gonna call it Bad Like 90s Dancer. And so I'm gonna talk to Kuya and then we'll do a thing together. And I put out this album. So I released that retro album last year. Cartel on it. I just remixed the Cute Rider. Ever since I made the beat sound like I'm in love. Ever since I met, you know, I did that whole thing,
Right.
Busy's on it thing, and I released it. And I say it didn't even stick on the wall.
Right.
I was like, this album didn't stick. And people don't know it's out there. When I played for people, they say, oh my God, this album is amazing. But I didn't promote it, I didn't do anything. I was just saying, let me see if this do it on its own to see what it would do. It didn't stick.
Right.
So I said, All right. When I went to the Grammys now and I see what the world constitutes as reggae, a lot of my Grammy peers, I was like, what you guys listen to? Like, tell me what you guys listen to. I said, really? I used to listen to reggae in college. I said, what kind of reggae? Burning Spear. This guy, Alton Ellis and stuff like that. Someone said, so you didn't listen to Elephant Man? And I said, what's that?
Oh, they have no idea.
Yeah, Grammys don't know a lot of people.
Right.
They don't know SZA, they don't know Cardi, they don't know a lot of people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you might think that they may know Dennis Brown. They don't know Dennis Brown either.
Right.
You have to be a reggae
And they
head.
don't know no berries either.
Yeah, because what happens is if you hadn't hit the billboard or something that is in front of them on the TV show or the Tonight Show or something like, and consistently, not just a one-off where you did a show there one day. It had to be something consistently in their face. like Shaggy, and then they saw Shaggy in a movie, and then they know it wasn't me, Shaggy. They know bombastic is like a word he coined, you know what I mean, and things. So it's like Beenie Man is known for Bimmer, right. You know what I mean, Sim Simmer, you know, is known for that term. It was on term before he make it popular, right. So it's like that kind of stuff. So now these people don't have like a signature kind of stance in the world of the world. So it's not like they're fighting it; they just don't know. So how do you fix that? There's an example. That's so. For me now, I said, let me put this vintage album together. And I want to make it reminiscent of the time. I didn't want it to sound new. Because I wanted people that love that thing to love this. You know, because I want to love it too. Because I still like this album a lot, you know. You know what I mean? I listen to it sometimes, like, oh, this thing wicked. So
it is my favorite, not reggae album.
Yeah.
Right? But it's my favorite album.
Yeah.
That I've heard so far for 2023.
Thank you.
My favorite album I've heard for 2023 is vintage reggae.
I have a critic, a brethren of mine. Him is very pessimistic. You know what I mean? He's never said anything.
Like nothing.
Nothing I do is good. He would tell me about Cloud9. I never like the R&B thing where they do. When you do Cloud9 with him. We never like that. Him is like that horrible. The gun session a demonic song. I can't tell about the role of Jesus Christ. Me have 24/7. A brethren like that. Really.
Right.
A guy is a pessimist. You know what I mean? He was actually a priest. Actually a Rasta priest. And I play him that. It's not culture him thing either. I play him Sizzler Imir's album. Say, that's too much falsetto singing and you know, no guitar and them thing. Him just like really pessimistic.
He won't find something when I like.
And I play him this.
Yeah.
You know what him said to me? It's alright, you know. That means it's amazing.
Say him, yeah, alright.
Him say it's alright, man. He say it's go on. That means it's super amazing. Cause my hits him fight every one of them. You know what I mean?
This right here is when we want, because here's the thing, and we talk about Grammys, right? I've had conversation with some folks. You are a Grammy member, voting member.
Yeah.
I've had conversation with other voting members, folks who work at the Grammys, but that email is at Grammys. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like based on what I'm hearing, we are at risk, close risk of losing our category.
Yes.
Gone. Period. So that was one of the reasons. So I was so happy when you put the album out because. We're a singles market. When we talk about Jamaica music, reggae, dance, or whatever, we love make singles, right? But we don't have enough albums. Right?
Yeah.
And not only do we not have enough albums, but the Grammy recognizes the best in sound recording.
Yeah, albums.
So when we do make the albums,
the
sound recording are not great anyway. So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm so glad you mentioned that.
So talk to me a little bit about putting this together properly because sonically, first of all, by the way, the songwriting on this is impeccable.
I didn't write them. None of them.
Who wrote them songs?
I freestyle them.
Brother,
I didn't write them.
Well, I'm gonna call it some. I'm gonna call it
freestyle them.
Because you know what? Maybe it's a good way to do that because it's reminiscent of older songs the way they're delivered.
I'm gonna tell you why I did it like that.
Talk to me.
I call some people the masters of recording. Cartel is a master of recording. Even Egyptian, master of recording. Ninja Man, master of recording. They don't write anything. Now these melodies that they float around in, and then by the time you leave the record running for like 10 minutes, you hear him go, "Make me make love to you, I wanna talk to you, and how a man should treat a lady." I can see he's mumbling.
Right.
Cartel does this a lot too, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I knew I could put pen to paper, but I'm a melody guy. I hear melodies every day. But I like, but the melody I'm hearing, this don't make sense. The words that's coming to it don't make sense. When I study Bob Dylan, his stuff don't make sense. A lot of rock and roll people's stuff don't make sense.
Right.
But that's what they're hearing. The Fleetwood Macs and the thing, and they're just hearing that, and and they just put it out.
Right.
Because it's creative. So when I was doing this album now, I knew that I could have no body on my shoulder. It's not for a label. It's not for nothing. It's just something I'm doing. I'm not making any rules with it. I'm going to do it very fast. So I started it January 14th. I've been finished it, but my distribution needed 2 weeks, and I released it February 6th on my son's birthday, which is actually Bob Marley's birthday too. But I done it like 4 days. You know what I mean? I did it long time, and I recorded in my car too.
What?
Yeah, I have a Lyra mic.
So that's where you get that vintage sound from.
Yeah, because I wanted not to be fancy. I wanted the full equipment, a laptop, no preamp, no UAD preamp, no M-box, no none of this. The mic, there's a Lyra mic that goes straight into your USB 3 in your computer. You know what I mean? A Lyra mic cheap too. $149 feet.
But what amazes me right now, and this is what I tell people, is that I feel like any greatness that I've ever seen in my life, people try to convince themselves that greatness is what you stumble upon, right? I think it's a great album. I think it's a phenomenal album, right?
Thank you.
I would have thought that it took you a year, 2 years to make the album, right? You're telling me no.
Yeah.
Short period of time. You're also telling me you used inexpensive equipment. You also are telling me you recorded it in environments that are less than ideal for a certain type of recording, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. That was by design. That was a process.
Yeah.
There are people who are doing that, and it's not the process. It's just what they stumble upon, what they're doing. So even you doing it that way is still the process. And I keep going back to that word, the process.
I did some ear training for 15 years now.
Right.
So then I recognize I do scores, movie scores, and I also do commercials. I learned that for you to get a placement on a commercial, the song has to have the capability of being played 1,000,000 times without your ears being fatigued. So now, that's a whole different thing. So like, when, let's say, a record get mixed, like a rhythm,
Right.
get mixed, and then something's gonna have placement, like a Sean Paul, label's gonna ask you for the files. Cause when Jimmy Douglas is on the Grammys too, he's a top engineer. He makes Rock the Boat, Aaliyah. He makes You're As Cold As Ice, Foreigner. He's a black man, by the way.
Wow.
Guess what he makes? Temperature, Sean Paul. And guess what he makes? Dude, Beanie Man. Wow. So when the labels is going for a commercial record, they go for him. It's my brethren.
Yeah.
Lot of Grammys him win. All the Timberland stuff, he makes Suit and Tie. Justin Timberlake. Long as I got my, that's the guy. But when he interprets reggae, to we, he might say, boy, it don't sound like it anything, but it's correct. Because it's not muddy anymore. But it's correct sonically. I mean, because his man been mixing for, he did Aretha Franklin.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So Jimmy, Banzai did the same thing for me when he mixed I Can Feel the Pain, because I gave him my song. When we mixed the Cloud Nine, I said, Banzai, say thing, I know. And I was like, yo, how your things sound different from mine? He said, well, John, your ears haven't developed yet, and your kicks are clashing with your basses. You're not going to be able to hear that yet. You know what I mean? You're what, like 20 something? I was like, what do you mean you're not going to hear that yet? It's just your ears. You know, like you play guitars and you do calluses on your finger. Your ear have a thing called the cochlea, and the callus goes over it and you make you hear some other frequencies. You know, blah, blah. So I'm going to say, is it the same reason why the sound man them, the man them who tune sound at Jamaica, and some old man, and then put them head in the speaker, like it them go deaf, and you can't do it because you go deaf? I say, yeah, kind of like that. You know what I mean? So, and I recognize that a top engineer is hearing some frequencies that you're maybe not hearing, and you're maybe not going to hear yet. You know what I mean? Until
that's
some
experience.
Yeah, some young youth have that ability naturally from early, but then to interpret it on the board, like how do I pull out that frequency? What kind of EQ I need? Is a compressor I need there, or is a gate? You know what I mean? So for me to relearn that, I just give it to the pro. So with this album now, this top engineer introduced me to a thing called tonal balance. He guided me with some stuff, but I had to mix this and make sure he correct it for me. When I send them back to him, he stopped moving the knobs. He said, "John, you got it in it." Because he trained me. He didn't touch. No, he didn't mix none of them.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I wanted to credit him on it. Just get the Grammy link and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
I did that myself, because then when I recognize that I'm tonally balanced correctly now, you know what I mean? So I recognize that he would add too much of expensive equipment, and those equipment weren't there back then. Right. Because then there's mud that I need, and hissing. Tapes gave hissing. But then, so I have the tape emulators and stuff. I have to leave it there, because today if you get the tape emulators inside a UAD, you can take out the hum and take out the hiss and take out the noise out of it. But I need it for the album. You know what I mean? For the feel. So I said, I'm not going to send it to him because he's going to clean it up. Right. You know what I mean? I can't have it clean up. I need it to have that feel. So
Brother,
when
it's proper.
Yeah.
And I feel selfish. I feel like me hold it from the people.
Yeah,
brother. You can't tell me this is making a 1975.
Your mother, your father, you wait too long. And you spit me yam rock stone in a deep hot sun.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know we're running over time, but guess what? Man, it ain't proper. I'm sorry. FX here one now. You see, even with the whole, and it all makes sense when you say boy didn't write the songs. You did them right there, like melodies, because everything about this. Okay, have you ever heard a song and the melody, the instruments, the artist name, nothing go together, nothing. You know, what I mean? Come like they've never met.
Yeah.
No, the album's called Vintage Reggae, right? The artwork, I got the vintage look, right? The sound, the sonics to me straight up vintage, right? But you also have to be careful with a record like these because you can't deliver that with modern lyrics, right?
Yeah.
The verbiage, the words, the lyrics, what you're saying in these songs is straight up freaking
I'm gonna give you a
vintage,
story. Rooty appearance.
Yeah.
You know about Rooty appearance?
No.
I'm gonna give you a schooling for it now.
Yeah.
I talked to some elders. Few elders know that there's a drinks in Jamaica named Rooty appearance in the 50s.
Really?
Smoke come out of the drinks because them put dry ice in it. It's a rum. And it make you go crazy and cuss up bad words. It make you Rooty appearance. Derek Morgan did an interview on the internet. He's talking about it. A lot of elders, I talk to them about it. They don't know it. But some people remember it.
Yeah.
They say, you're right, man, Rooty appearance.
Yo.
So that's what this song is really about. It's a Rooty appearance. You're drinking Rooty appearance. So that you're at Gala Road, but you want to have fun. But you're drinking Rooty appearance.
Yo.
So it's some terminology that I'd never heard in songs. Remember, Jamaica is about metaphors. So, like, me have a song where I say, you're going to make a song named Dibby Dibby, you know? Because nobody never make a song named Dibby Dibby.
Yeah.
And in these words, I want to reintroduce them back. Because to my kids, they love when I tell them these stories. And my kids are kids that are born with the year, you know what I mean? By 10-year-old and stuff.
Because the story is, and here's how I know I was dialed in, right? There are a couple of times when I listened to it, and I was reading the lyrics as I was listening to it.
You see the lyrics?
Yeah.
Finally, because I have my distribution. Please sell the lyrics out for me.
I think there was one that I couldn't get the lyrics from.
Yeah.
One
I gotta go find it, yeah.
But Rooty appearance, I was coming here, I was like, hell no, I'm gonna pull it back up. You know what I mean? I mean, I read, that's the reason why I said great songwriting, because I thought that you just mentally took yourself there.
I had to write them back out for the distribution because I wanted people. So when I because what I did with them now is I make the rhythm. I go and I'm mumbling. So I can admit to you, the train, you take the train to meet me. I was messing around with two things with the Nora Jones. Down until I saw the sun. And I'm also messing out in the verses. On this lonely afternoon, in the love is coming soon. The melody is it don't know me by now. The chords, but you can't sue for chords.
Right.
So I'm in those chords, simple red.
Right.
And I'm in the Nora for the chorus.
Right.
So then I have to recognize, but I have to make it up the time. You know what I mean? So I'll be cool. I'll be cool. I can't say I'll be cool. On this lonely afternoon. Because I need our own at the end of it. But I can't be cool because that wasn't a term back then.
Right.
So that's how I had to just replace it and get into matching the frequency of the time. I've learned to match frequencies in this world.
Right.
So I know a lot of gangsters and a lot of church people. I grew up in church. I know a lot of in the middle people. I know a lot of other side kind of people. Some people said that I am fake. I've been called fake before by some people. You're not real because you're talking to the past and as if you like him and thing. But I can match and I can talk to the murderer and match him too.
Yeah.
And he would tell me everything and I match him.
That's a skill set.
Yeah. So music is matching frequency. So I'll hear a track. I said, that as you said earlier, I said that kick drum don't match that vocal. The kick drum, you know.
Right.
When I listen to dance, I was like, yo, them snare they don't match that song there.
Right.
Snare. That's just one part of the equipment or the instrument. And all the songs them have this piano thing. All the beats them have that. So all them chords are funeral chord. You know what I mean? Because they're all minor chords. You know what I mean? So when I hear a man, big up to my friend them, and I got them, I got man in Geo, she like that. So I am going home on the morning train, a funeral song that I'm playing in my church. You know what I mean? So I recognize that those chords cannot touch. Money fall and you banana fall and you, because it's a major chords.
Yeah, more bright. Yeah.
So I recognize that. No,
That's what's killing our domestic reggae, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Too dark in content.
Yeah.
But it's also too dark in sonics and the
in
chorus.
sonic, and then again mixing now, because again, remember the Grammys, their mixing is an important thing.
Yeah.
There, because I remember it's an academy of musicians. Like they have the movie academy, which the Oscars present to the movie academy. This is the recording academy, where everybody is involved. Lyrics play a part, artwork play a part. Let me show you how serious artwork is. If you don't do a certain artwork, iTunes not even featuring your song, your album up there. The artwork is not for their thing.
Yeah.
Playlisting, that we all trying to get on playlist. Playlisting have a lot to do. So I did the retro dancehall. The mix, I think it's 10 songs. I mix mostly 8 of them. Jimmy Douglas mix 2. The 2 mix still up on the Apple playlist. And they're not popular songs. And I could tell that it's sonically right. That's why it's there. So who are the curators just running through saying this is a good one and just throw it on it? You know what I mean? I mean, never have no contract, I'm not a link over there, nothing like that. I reckon that sonic is very important because movies and commercial taught me this. So most commercials always have a whistle or a guitar in it. Tam, 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 tam. Come to T-Mobile. I'm JC Penny doing it right. You know what I mean? These are real instruments they use because acoustic instruments are easier on your ears. So when you make a track now, how it was in me can play for a long time because dum, dum, ish, dum, dum, ish, dum. It's almost like it's playing and it's not playing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I recognize that everything that plays, even all the stars are closer. When I listen to it, I like this is sonically correct. I can turn it all the way up and my ears don't get fatigued.
My ears now bleed, yeah.
You know what I mean? So what happens is me and a certain engineer from Jamaica have a little issue. Right? Because I did mix a song for Cartel and him said to me, him send back a message. Him say, yo, DJ, tell FX the mix what him get from the foreign man sound good, nobody lose the feel. So I was like, but the thing, this is what you call the feel? I said, but that snare too loud. Can I go, say, way too loud. So, but I hit at the feel, my dog. Trust me, I tell you. So listen, this is like giving white people our jerk chicken with the jerk pit sauce from the Boston jerk.
Too spicy.
Jerk chicken here in America is barbecue sauce.
Yep.
That is enough for them. And I am just adding barbecue sauce to our music so it can be palatable for the world.
Right.
Yeah, this too heavy.
Yeah.
But when we call the feel, we can do it, you know. We can have it. But then, why this trap dancehall can't match the trap in America? Because what happens is, when a label go take the money for go mix the baby, they're taking that same record back to Jimmy on a SSL or an Eve board. So although you are use the same drum sound like them, you're not getting the sonics. I watched an interview for Anchor Music. Stephen Stanley was the engineer, still engineer Anchor that mix all of the Shabba them and the Pirates and the Telephone Love. Stephen Stanley forced Anchor Gussie for buy a NS10 speaker. NS10 was the industry standard and still is. I mean, I seen a NS10 and nobody speaker. Headphone mix me here. All the dancehall is headphone mix. You have to clean out the low end. So the bass, what them are called bass now is an 808. And we were always known for our bass. You know what I mean? A man like a Steel and Cleavy, them a mix bass for like a whole day, you know?
Yeah.
Yo, man, turn it up again. I'm going to go outside, I'll eat a box food. Bass alone take the whole day. So, I see the left, don't move on, press it. You know what I mean? I saw them too that they used to work.
Catch it.
Yeah, it's snare sometimes. Yo, listen, it's a dancehall. But then, especially the Suku them dancehall, all them drum sound they get make. A man is taking a drum set that goes like this. Come pressing. That's what he's doing.
Right.
Because them never have the gear. So them sit down with compressor for a whole day, process, and I move and I gate. So the sound are too fat, you know, yo, to annoy me, you know. Because they didn't have the tools. So now you can get your Fruity Loops, so you get all the drum pack off a splice. And you make the same kind of trap sounding beat like what you hear the youth them a make. And then even when you try to follow the trap standard here, the trap record still not touching the Taylor Swift.
No, it's not.
So you are now going for a sub-genre and making that your go-to. When them songs don't even mix good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's I'm glad I mentioned that. I'm glad because that to me is ludicrous, right? if you go mimic something, mimic
The highest.
mimic the highest one.
Yeah.
You're coming to the bottom of the barrel and making it your go-to. Let me ask you this, and before we get out of here, I gotta talk about this part of it. We just go into the formulas and so forth, because there are formulas for everything. Will we 90s dancehall, it wasn't just about the sound of the 90s dancehall, it was about the accomplishments, right? That was the time when we had the most Jamaican artists signed to major labels at the same time.
Yes.
We've seen thereafter, and maybe even before, where it's almost like only one man allowed for hot at the time, right? It's either you or me. It ain't us.
Yeah.
Right? Is it behind us where we're going to have major labels messing with reggae and dancehall and Jamaican artists? Is it dead? Is it done? Or is there? Can we rectify that?
Guess what's beautiful with the genre that we do, the era that we live in? I don't think God made mistake. Ever, never, ever. You see the little rapper we mentioned earlier, rest in peace, X-Tentation? He's a numbers guy. You know what I mean? And I know that cut all the crap, show me the numbers. So I look at your YouTube numbers. I've been meeting with a lot of dancehall artists, the prominent ones, for this entire month. Every one of them you can think of, the hottest one them. And they show me the numbers on YouTube. 80 million YouTube. Spotify 2 million. My brother, your numbers not organic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No man dog, I tell them I'm a thing organic. I say, well, your demographic only listen to YouTube. You know what I mean? And if that's the case, this don't make sense. A label not gonna touch you. Move your numbers and they hunt you down. If I've seen records that go viral on TikTok and it don't translate in Spotify, because there's a certain thing that you have to do, and I'm not gonna mention it here. You know what I mean? Your distribution has to do this thing for it to translate to Apple Music and to Spotify. So when I see the song, them I play, I'm like, yo dog, my thing up in them. Say, no, it's not up. Because what happens when your numbers move, it don't care who you is. It's a lot of Africans that they don't know their names, and labels cutting them check left, right, and center. The numbers is there. Remember, to the world of business is, can we make our money back from this? You know what I mean? That's where they're at in their brain. 100 million streams on Spotify is gold or platinum. If your distribution decide to report it. Some distributions don't want to report it because they don't want to pay the tax. But they can, if they report it, your record will be gold or platinum. Right. If you have that on your thing, a label is calling you. If you don't want them to call you, they're going to keep calling you all the time. Whether they want them call you or not.
They might call.
Yeah. So if you show me why SoundCloud was a standard years ago, X-Tentation had the numbers there too. He's like the first guy, 80 million organically on SoundCloud. Empire, cut him a check right there. SoundCloud, YouTube are not things that they use as standards anymore, because they can be manipulated easily by bots and blah 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 and blah blah. Subscription based entities like Spotify and things like that, they have high level geeks that as soon as you create a thing, they debunk it. You know what I mean? And then Spotify have a thing that I've also been penalized by them too for having fake numbers, and they pull your song down. Yeah, that's the trick.
So, and you're right, because I see, and the funny thing about it is this, you know, it is so obvious to me when I see fake numbers. Right? You see it on social media, you see it on everything, but you see the
engagements don't add up.
It don't add up. It don't add up. I've done a math over the past 4 years. 1 to 5%. Right? So if you got 1 million followers, the engagement is 1 to 5%.
To 5%,
right?
Yeah.
So when you have 1 million
I
followers,
like how you put it. I used to say 10, but it's 1 to 5.
It's 1 to 5. No,
Yeah.
no. Depending on
Who you are.
You can go from 5 to about 7, 8, 9, right?
That's correct.
And it don't matter who it is.
Yeah.
It don't matter who it is, because people are followers just to say they're followers,
Yeah.
right? And because you got a blue check or whatever, so I follow you, but I'm not really dialing. But yet still, I've seen people have 1 million followers, post something and get as much engagement as the person who have 5,000 followers, which says to me
that's not adding up.
It ain't adding up.
You know what I mean? I remember that's our game. I'm a label guy.
Right.
So that's what they call. I'm the numbers guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's time I rack your numbers up. You know what I mean? And we painting this picture because it needs to be organic eventually. You know what I mean? So we're painting a story to get to a point. So it's like a certain guy says greatest rapper alive, and he paint that picture. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, but Busta Rhymes is still alive. Nas is still alive. I mean, Papoose is still alive. You know what I mean? It's just touchy, tricky stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you paint this thing. I said, I look at the greats. Chris Black could paint this thing for Bob. But guess what? Bob had the content to match it. So the rappers that I work with now, there's a particular one. He's big, was big. And then his thing fade. Because what happens is it's a machine that we use to get him going and get his numbers and get his thing. But then people not engaging. You know what I mean? I know it's easy to get people to engage. You have to just be real with who you are at the core. Imagine me now. Do an album like that. And I come to this radio program. Say, G Cole, why I pray, dog? Don't know, it doesn't add up. You know what I mean? I lose a bunch of people. I got hang up the thing
like,
now.
Hell no.
So I don't like this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why big old man thing? So I say, no.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes
Not believable.
the artist and the art don't
match. So what I found out is the greats that do it. I watch the Shade and I watch the Bobs and the Michael. They have found the tone very early. Even the Kurt Cobains and the stuff, they found, even the little kid, rest in peace, XXXTentacion, he found his tone very early. You know what I mean? When you find your tone, there's just some little quirks that they have. Most geniuses have it. I need an apple in my desk. You know what I mean? That's Einstein. He needs a rotten apple in his desk to work and do his thing. You know what I mean?
Wow.
You know, Beethoven have to hit him head on the piano and things like that. You know, little quirks. So the quicker you find your tone, you start to recognize, I like this kind of food, I like this kind of dressing, I like this kind of thing. What happens is now, when you start to find your tone, chances are you're going to be a loner. Because you'd have to fit in a thing. Imagine I go to a domino table in this pink suit every day. Yo, FX, John, that. Yo, man, you're too loud, you know, man. We are slippers and a socks, no, man. When I hear them, no, man. Right. You know? So then, what happens is people are trying to fit in this world. So your music fit in too. You know what I mean? So you sing the same song, them. Girl, gun, and bad mind.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
Then something, yeah, and that's it. You know what I mean? Nobody not tell a story. You know what I mean? See a girl and walk on the street and say, give me a number. You know, that's not existing. Tell me a story one time. Sing something else.
Yeah.
Sing something about one game you used to play. Sing something, you know what I mean? There's so much topics to write about. Black Panther. You know what I mean? You can write, there's so much things to write about.
But we stick in the same little.
And what happens is, people, today's creators, our Jamaicans, there's no stars in our Jamaican world right now. I don't really see much stars.
Right.
You know what I mean? And who would consider themselves as stars? When I talk to them, they have way too much ego. Because it's almost like you're a handsome guy and you go to a girl, yo, take my number. I'm the hardest guy you ever meet. Yo, take my number. I know you need me. It's like, whoa, turn off. So although you're good, Baba one handsome man, but him just shy. I'm act shy.
Yeah.
Pretty shy, you know what I mean?
Right.
So you like me? You're like, oh, wow, Iron Man, you know. I'm glad you like
Some
me, you know.
humility.
Yeah. So happens is the music have to sound like that too. You know, the music have to like call you in. Like, listen to me now. You know what I mean? So when I did this album, these were supposed to be demos, you know. But then the guys that I wanted to voice on it, they could really sing. Big artists that we know. Some man I go take my song, go take the train to meet me, all in the rain. I said, no, man. Me no want that. Me want it like a can try sing.
That's like what Jamie Foxx said about with Kanye's situation.
Yeah. Me want you like a try sing.
Yeah.
Take the train to meet me. Because what happens is, studios back in the 60s, 70s, 80s in Jamaica was like church. It was so rare. You're up on your best behavior. See Motown, Temptation, them outside for hours, days. Just a try get a thing. So you go in with a humility.
Yeah.
Cause the man, you respect him. Yes, sir. Good. I remember I heard Betty in a room I cry. Toots. And right as the record started, him say, you ready? Yes, sir. I hear it in the record.
Wow.
And I know it was Kuri, the Chinese man, the so-called black and Chinese man. I know it was who was voicing for somebody federal. But there was so much respect there, you know what I mean? So it's not like, no, hey, engineer boy, turn up that. You know what I mean? But then it was not that. I've seen a jamming session with a big artist, what we know, come there with him chain, can bust now. Come there with him chain and him thing. And Mark too, because Mark was the drug dealer car back then. And the artist come in a jam for voice, a big song we know. And then the man starts singing the song, Jamie say, you're not ready for today, you know. come back, you know, because I like the ego and the chain and make noise in the mic and it's too heavy tonight, man, and you know, deliver, you know, hungry. So the next day, the said artist come back vexed. Kiss him teeth in the song and that state of I like them I get them money with the attitude when needed. So see it there? See it there? You know what I mean? And the man running away.
Yeah.
And this is a big artist who coming with an entourage. I must say, yo, King, and I'm like, oh, y'all talk to the dog. So, no, man, don't come back tomorrow. I can't deal with this.
Yeah.
You're not ready yet, man. Come back ready for Vice the song. You know what I mean? And the man come, attitude. And the attitude, Jamie said, I want that.
Yeah.
But it was still a respectful attitude, too.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So, I've seen that kind of reverence that people would have in the studio. Remember, you have to also allow yourself to be a vessel. Remember, the inspiration still come from higher than we, you know.
It's bigger than us.
Yeah, so it's still when you so clogged up, you know. Me is and Rerek. So what happens is, I was talking to a young man as I shot a video, you know, if I can have this girl, you know. I shot it Saturday.
Oh, for real?
In my vintage clothes and things. Yes.
So when did that drop?
When you finish editing. So in a Volkswagen and you know, real vintage.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking again. The album is called Vintage Reggae.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tracks?
9 tracks, yeah.
9 tracks. I want me to say, no miss everything. What up, so Wagwan Sultry, Teresa, everybody that's watching from near and far. Hawaii's locking in, Canada's locking in right about now. When we listen to, you can't tell me that it's new. You can't tell me that it's some classic stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, Jon FX, the album is called Vintage Reggae. I say it without apology. My favorite album that I've listened, regardless of what the genre from the year start until now. Best executed album. Right about now, if everything goes how it's supposed to go, at the Grammy winner this time, I call it. I'm calling it. I called the Miami Heat last night. They won. I'm calling it. FX, let me tell you something. The thing, when I say it proper, sometimes I can't find the word we use is proper. It meets the marks, right? If I had a graph,
yeah,
and I check and I put my different expectations on my graph, everyone checks out.
Yeah, that song almost made me cry, you know.
This,
yeah.
Why?
I'll tell you why. And I was making it, the bass line, doom, 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 doom. So I was going for fade away, but I didn't want to take anybody's stuff. So I just use like fade away goes doom, 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 doom. So I use the steps of it. So I go doom, 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 something like that for dance and nice again. But then I was calling some place, a jungle and trench town at the back, I'm a Kali and Juice Land. I was calling some names. And I remember I said Binge Road, Balcom Drive. It was a war that traumatized a lot of people in Waterhouse. 40 people died a week. Binge Road, Balcom Drive war in the 90s. Wicked war. Never come on the news. Right. Just right war joke compared to that. 40 people died a week. Wow. You know what I mean? And then the war is so crazy. The news team come through, them get shoot up. Helicopter, no police, no soldier. It was an inside war. And I was calling the era them, like it's like a hope of mine for it to be nice again. You know what I mean? Because when Jamaica got the World Cup, I see the Binge Road man them will kill each other, run, come out the Macaulay man them and the world man them, Binge Road back come join them, hug up each other. Yeah. But then so much man did dead. You know what I mean? I remember there's a borderline, you know, and our bridging were dead on the borderline. I'm see the two done them hug up on the borderline, you know what I mean? So that song, I leave it for the end, because it's not really of the era, and it's more a 70s song. You know what I mean? That particular one, but I leave it, but selectors tend to like it. You know, guys dance all nice again. Jungle and trench down. I don't got Mackay Lane. They say them feel no pain. You know what I mean? Right. So that song is really a touching song for me because it's a hope that I have that it can be nice again. But guess what I tell you now? All done. I tend to know all of the bad man them. All of them love music.
That's true.
And one thing that every Dan that I know like. Them like to sustain. I'm not that little bleach out face with them. In fact, but the remainder of them like sustain. So the first thing I done, I'm gonna tell him, I'm think different now, some music thing, but there, you know. I producer now, you know. It's like, you know, John Laws and all them was bad man, really, George Bang, you know what I mean? So the thing is, they love music, but what in their world, they haven't seen it work in their time. So remember I tell you, the labels coming for you will come when the sound is right. You know what I mean? Right. And to make the sound right is a simple adjustment. It's not as hard as people think.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's just melodies. You know what I mean?
But you have to. It has to be the goal.
Yeah, it has to be the goal. And
that's the thing is that I'm amazed when you tell me say this is the process of creating vintage reggae, but it's not just the fact that was the process that amazes me. Is the fact that was the intended process.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So I intended it to make it like that because what happens is, I said, back then 2 track is what them have. They have 196 track in the studio. I record in the studio. You know what I mean? Them have 2 track, and to get that feel, what were they listening to also? So like Miracle, I can admit to you, Miracle is Dennis Williams. To let me love someone new.
Right.
It's not her song, but I was just like, why does song sound so nice? Loving you so, it wasn't blind to see.
I think that's the one I couldn't find lyrics for.
Yes, I'll go and send it to the distributor and make sure they have it. So Miracle is like my favorite. Must have been a miracle. So I says, well, I want to do more of Manhattan style vocals because back then at Duke Creed, our studio one, they were listening to that. That was their Chris Brown. Right. That was their trap. True. Was the impressions. And so I remember people said, oh, Bob, ma'am. I said, Bob sampled a record, you know. Not sampled, but he took a song. So which song? I said, people get ready for the train to come in. Curtis Mayfield. Because he admired, when he was talking to Chris, he was like, yo, I want to be like the impressions them. So that artwork I have is like reminiscence of the artwork with Bob and Peter them in the suit. But that wasn't the original artwork. I changed it 3 times. The artwork I had first was me in a yellow clocks. I saw that on Google. Yeah, and then that's not the 50s and the 60s. Yeah. So I had to go back and make another red and black one, and it was too dark. So I go back again and I made that artwork myself too.
So this is all you?
Yeah. Damn. Because the artwork people, they take too long. Right. And then I didn't have the money at the time. You know what I mean? And who could get the job done? It was really expensive.
But this, I'm saying it again. My favorite album, Quincy Large himself. Quincy said, loving it.
Big up.
So she said me a call to Grammy.
Sultry, big up.
It's one of them things where it's an easy listen, and that's the thing that I think is missing right about now. Some things are not easy listens, you know. And
go on, talk.
No. Go ahead.
You know why I'm glad you said that? There's a myriad of music A&Rs that I'm very good with. We have a listening called the listening of epic albums. There's a list of albums that everybody agree in the myriad of the music industry at the top level, CEOs too, that are epic albums. Pink Floyd Off the Wall, Lionel Miseducation, Sade Lover's Rock, Bob Marley Legend, and the list goes on and on. What an epic album has in common is all the songs can play from the top to the bottom. It's like a story, the entire album telling. It's like one big song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's why I love albums right now.
And then guess what? When me meet a Jamaican youth or an independent guy, first thing they tell me is, FX, I want a real album. And I want some EDM on it. I want to satisfy some Afrobeat people and R&B and thing. No. Not go so in the real world. Because what happens is when the buying audience want to hear you, says, hey, put on a Bob Marley, man. And they want to just vibe to that right now. If them at the gym, them want to hear, it's my life. Put an entire Pink Floyd. Or if them want the Lenny Kravitz, the album, I want it. And they want that entire thing from start to finish. You know what I mean? So this is what epic albums are. It's an entire story.
And it makes sense. Had this conversation with somebody the other day about 2 of those albums that you mentioned, right? Miseducation, Lauryn Hill. Lovers Rock by Sade. Track 1 to track
so 13 or 14. Yeah.
If you let it play, sometimes you don't even realize you moved from one song.
One track. You track 6, so you don't even know. So I haven't reached so far.
You don't even realize. And mentally, I think we've told ourselves, because here's the thing, our culture, half the problem is our culture. We're still the culture, but the culture is a problem. And by that, I mean this. we are what we call stage show audience to me, right?
Yeah.
Where we're not concert people, we're stage show people.
Yeah.
So we can't do it with performing and people are sitting down and listening to us and then
yeah.
stop and applaud.
Yeah.
We need
Pull
forward.
up. Yeah.
We need pull up. We need
Yeah.
to get up and we need fence for a beat, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But most times when somebody sit down and not say words because they're soaking it in, right? And that's the reason why they get so bored. Where track number 1 is what I call a ballad, so to speak. Track number 2 got to be straight up tempo. Now they gone all the way, so it ends up being a lot of gullies and a lot of up and down. And
I'm going to tell you something. There's a band, lead singer passed away. Excellent performers. Midnight.
Yeah, talk about
Van. I watched them a Hollywood circle. 'Cause my brother, New York, I love Midnight. To me, I just didn't like hearing reggae from anybody who's not Jamaican.
Yep.
And then for me now, I am that guy now. As Jamaican have me off as a foreign youth.
Right.
So I am the guy now.
Right.
I says, oh, I am the Midnight now. I never know.
Right. Outcast.
So me think me organic. I said, no, man, you never boss a Jamaica. I New York him do like a remix. I said, oh wow, I'm the Waterdown guy. Okay, cool. I watched them. Hollywood Circle was a free show. No pull up, no pause. Them just a sing song. Them not talk to nobody. Just a got you. Good night, one love, and then I sing. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, that does exist. Because at the end of the day, the music has to get you in a trance. So what we look for the bubblegum thing, pull up my thing. All right, you mess no. Boom, boom, boom. Even then, those albums were done by brain people that made interludes on the album. You know what I mean?
Take it from point A to point B.
Me get hired by VP for the last Movado album that they did. And before Jehovah Guide Me, I had to make an orchestra and my wife singing background. Jehovah, whoa, I'm on the right. Anyway, and then the song start. Neil Diamond, a VP, big him up, my Trini. And Neil decided to jump to FX. This album need, because how are we going to transition into So Special?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I had to use the guy, Father Gringer, big him up, him pass away. He had to say, I'm David. I had to play Gangsta. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, dun, 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 dun. A lion, dun, 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 dun,
Do
dun.
people know that you're the one that did that album?
That just did the interludes and
Right.
structured it. But the credits is there. But people don't know that. But the credits is there.
Right.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Yeah. So it's, if I should, we might have another interview another day that I can go through all the stuff that's
Right.
there. Because what I recognize VP is still a thing for reggae. People still go to them as an authority. And I won't sit back and fight them because they're still putting out projects. So for me is, let me help with what you have.
Right.
Because what they were doing over the years is their compilation company thing. And they would just take songs from a person, blah, blah. Remember when the whole you song start buzzing, they was like, yo, just take some Egyptian song and throw an album. And Neil was like, no, man, we need to do an album. Neil forced them to come. So we don't have the time. Him say, yo, FX can deliver album fast. Him can at least take a week. Took me 3 days. All I was sick after. Neil get ulcer stomach, Egyptian faint, Neil vomit. You know what I mean? But we did it. You know what I mean? 3 days. We did like 20 something songs and they only used 15. You know what I mean?
Jano.
And it's something that I had
Behind the
to
music.
get involved with them. You know, sometimes I don't agree with people and their business ways, but I recognize, but this is bigger than the whole of it, you know. You know what I mean? So I have to deliver it. Because for them to take, they would have put I Can Feel the Pain on it and most of my hits on it, but it wouldn't be structured. I wouldn't be able to get the Now Let Go. The Now Let Go is 4 songs, you know.
Right.
Making up. And they say, all right, I'm going to choose a Now Let Go instead.
Wow.
It's 4 that kind of style I'm making up. I said, I'm going to make something like the bookshelf. The play going, baby, you look fine. I'm going to change the stuff around and make new chords out of it. And he says, she not. Yeah.
That's showing them.
You know what I mean? Anyhow, I mixed that record properly. It would have been bigger. And I must admit, it's not mixed right. But it
was a huge record for Egyptian though.
It's a huge record for all of us. You know what I mean? But when I hear it on the radio, knowing what I know now, I recognize that sonically this wasn't right.
Right.
You know what I mean? 'Cause money spent behind it. Budget and Christy Barber worked the record. She was at BP at the time. And she worked that record. I think it's the last record she worked. Because she was going to go. But she said, you know what? For the culture, I'm going to work this one. And they really wanted the record to win. Because Holy was almost like a buck-ups. that wasn't mixed properly. It was just like one good lucky record. Right. So I was gonna structure a record, and this FX guy looked like him though a little thing. You know what I mean?
They weren't wrong. They weren't wrong.
Yeah, man. So I did it. When I hear it, I recognize I'm at fault. This record don't mix properly. You know what I mean? I said, never again. I'll rob a song.
You probably the only person who thought that.
People still to this day think it mixed good.
Yeah.
But I hear it, I was like, man, the hi-hat they're too loud.
Yeah.
And the vocal they're too thing. And you know what Hot 97 said? One of the big like PDs at the time, program director, says, yo man, it's a little bit too clean. You don't got the grit. You know, something I don't know, man. You know what I mean? That's what the person told me.
Right.
It just don't have the grit. Like it's this thing it need. I said, it's me, you know. With my cleaning up and my EDM, cleaning up and neaty thing.
Right.
I said, leave the muddy night.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what he wanted to hear.
Yeah.
He probably
because Holy had the mud.
He probably one of them people who because what you did with that record is, and I think it worked because here's the thing, it's nuances, you know, the gift and the curse. So sometimes fixing something is breaking something, right?
Yeah.
Hot 97 is urban radio.
Yeah.
Right. That record crossed over.
It did.
From urban radio.
Yeah. It bust here 99 John and 102.
Yeah. If you had left the mud in it.
Yeah,
it probably wouldn't.
Wouldn't go. You're right.
You know what
You're
I'm saying?
right.
Probably wouldn't have.
Cause I was in the club pressing all the DJs like, you wanna not play the song? And it's only South Beach. I go Purdy Lounge. A guy, you know, Purdy Lounge. He played every Monday. I make me feel good, you know.
that song's a hard rock song. It's a Purdy Lounge song.
Yeah.
It's a Delano kind of a vibe.
You know I hear iHeartRadio one day surprised me. I hear when they added it to the real playlist. You know what I mean? So every time, I think the Britney Spears play right after. I was like, this is good. You know what I mean?
But I heard that song on I would say is it Easy 93 something like that one time.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
It was worked to rhythmic and it was worked to urban and rhythmic pop and rhythmic pick it up organically. You know what I mean?
I don't think it would have been that way if you left the mud in it.
And guess what? We had a TV show placement with the song this year.
For that same song?
Three Women Showtime series. It's called 3 Women. It hasn't showed yet, but it's supposed to show in it because we got the thing from it.
All right.
Yeah, now let go.
Here we're gonna go back to that now.
That.
Here we're gonna go back to that now. And this is why I'm sure. I'm glad you mentioned that, right?
Episode 103 it coming on.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Cause hear what now. We just spoke about how long it takes to work a record, right? And sometimes we've had records break in weird ways 8 years after, right? So when Now Let Go come out?
Now Let Go came out 2011, Holy album 2010, 2011, yeah.
And you're getting a placement in 2023.
Yeah.
Right?
This year.
This year.
Yeah.
So that speaks to the longevity in the record. And a lot of people are not creating them. They're thinking about the now, right? When you are creating a record, what are you thinking about? Especially when it's not a record for you.
So my brother, I call him the master thinker. My brother played drum in the train in New York, Rasta youth.
Right.
Not into material, him sleep on the thing, you know, I'm not fancy. My brother, like my twin brother. And him have a formula that him always tell me. Him say, when you really did make, like you ask me questions like that. Like when you make like Now Let Go or I Can Feel the Pain, so, you know, I actually made it long time, you know, but I never finish it. So him said to me, say, you should make records in plan for 3 years ahead of time. You know what I mean? So him said to me now, so this vintage album, it's in my brain, you know, for a while, you know. So I knew how to do the bass. So I know how to do the bass. I said, I know how to do the drum. So things will puzzle my brain. So I hear Miley Cyrus, I could buy myself flowers. It puzzled me for a while how she got that saturation and the clap and the snare. And I've used all the saturation, all the top plugins, and I couldn't find it. I just find it this morning. You know what I mean? So sometimes something take me years and things. So I start making records now in preparation for it to be legendary later on. So now, another thing I should tell you. I'm going to say it because it happened. 2 songs on this album is in a movie, coming out in a movie. You know? But I can't mention the movie.
Which songs?
It's Rude Boy and Work It Out. You know what I mean? Rude Boy and Work It Out is in a movie. White people movie.
Right.
And the person who submitted for me, thanks so much. The person submitted and they're like, I'm going to submit the album. They have your okay to submit the album. She was just going to submit just the Rude Boy alone. Because it's a thing where they have a scene in Jamaica. It's a big Netflix movie thing that they're going to thing. And she says they love the entire album. Wow. You know what I mean? So I know in my brain that this album, I either rude boy or dance on us again is going to be sampled by some rapper or somebody later. They have to just discover it. So I haven't put the fire behind this album yet. Like the campaign and the marketing and the stuff. But I know that there's stuff there on it which, if, you know, whether Grammy or this or nomination or whatever, it doesn't matter at the time now. Because I have more plans for it.
Right.
I'm also planning to give Train to Burst. You know what I mean?
Still?
Yeah. I'm planning to do it. You know what I mean? So, a guy called Junior Radigan in Boston. It's FX, you should make these rhythms too, you know. The Tech Train and Voice. Runkus been begging me for the track like a month now. You know what I mean? So I might just do it. I'm not gonna let it go. Because I recognize that our culture, this is February.
Win a Grammy first though.
Man. Yeah, man, you're right. When this do February, in the February 6th, me release it. I'm supposed to be tired with this now and move on to another album.
Right.
Because I have the 70s done. You know what I mean? I have the 80s done. Already it's done. I have the 90s done too. So I decided to do an anthology. 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s of, you know what I mean? The 90s album sound just like the 90s.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I did all of them already. So I'm excited to drop them now. And I reckon that reggae takes a year.
Yeah.
Any third world music. Jerusalem. I work this song named Bamba. Amino. For Goya Menor. Goya Menor that has the single now, Brother Man. His hit song is, you want to Bamba? You want to chill with the big boy? I've been working this song from 2021. Wow. You know what I mean? From quarantine 2020 and the record go viral 2021, 2022. You know what I mean? So because of that, he gave me the single of his album. Track 1 on his album that just released called Brother Man. That's me. Because I recognize that anything third world take a while. You know what I mean?
It amazes me.
I don't have no budget behind it. Big money.
We ain't got the machine. The mechanics like.
And if you don't have a budget, your song can last long.
Yeah.
That's the formula.
Yeah. And we ain't got the budget.
Yeah.
We ain't got the budget. And unfortunately, even the labels that are our labels that we look to as the top tier for what we do, they ain't got the budget.
They don't got the budget.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? I remember when I think they paid they went on a limb with Not Let Go. You know what I mean? And they're like, yo, this better work, you know. And you know what I mean? And they were still kind of holding back because they didn't do Holy was just so organic. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that it does happen. So for me, I tell people that treat your music, especially if you want to do it professionally, treat it like a bill. An insurance bill, a car payment. Look at $200 a month. Look at $3, $5. All if you can stretch $1,000. You know what I mean? Stretch it.
But you're gonna have a nurture. You're gonna have to feed that record.
Yeah, man. You find a PR. I said, me have $250 a month. $250, $100. $250. What can this do? What can 3 bills do? You know what I mean? A month. You know what I mean? If them not doing nothing, just hire somebody else.
You know, I love hearing you say that because there's a misconception. I tell people this, there's too much lies being told in music, right? When people get a story about how I was in my basement playing a record and Diddy passed by and all that, ain't nothing go so. You know what I'm saying? It's not that organic, right? The PR person puts, or whomever it is, puts the T's where it's supposed to be and the I's where it's supposed to be, but they tell the story.
I almost get in an argument on a Grammy panel. Everybody on the panel, we're talking for Grammy U kids. How did you make it? I work hard, perseverance. So I'm not telling them foolishness there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Tell the president, me nah, say them foolishness there. No. I'm going to tell them what I really did. Tell these kids what I really did.
Right.
I look at the kids, them, I say, hey, you know, all you people doing music and stuff. If you're not excellent at music, not good enough, people that do karaoke, live band and stuff, and lead singers that do cover bands, they're pretty good. You're not excellent. When you're excellent, you have a unique tone. You know what I mean? When you have that tone, like, yo, that tone, stand the tone.
That Akon, that Michael, that...
The bob.
Yeah, that bob.
The rasp. You know, the girls that do commercials, JC Penny doing it right. That's a regular voice. If a bob, you know what I mean, a man like a Smokey Rabbit, Sam Cooke, JC Penny doing it right. It can't work.
Right,
you know, it's too heavy.
Right. Yeah.
But that's a signature tone. So I tell them that if you're not excellent at music, you cannot make a living out of it. I have about 9 to 5.
Right.
So if you're good, a lot of people are very good, I said, gosh, really, he sings really good. Like, some good music. You have to be excellent at music. So when it come on to me now, when a person, Jon FX, I said, first I have the fastest turnaround time on the planet. Touch me. I can make your track in 4 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute.
Wow.
Depends on the kind of track that you want. That's the most turnaround time I have, and I practice it. So I think I play the most instruments, 15 instruments. There's a time I used to say 20, but I haven't brushed up on the thing them. So it's a thing where it's over the years. There's times when I say, man, I should get a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Because I have to blah blah. Every time I'm gonna do that, music rescue me out of the thing. You know what I mean? And it's because I recognize that I'm actually very good. You know, they say it take 10,000 hours to be an expert at what you do, a genius. And I've put in some 10,000 hours a couple times. Wow. You know what I mean? A 9 to 5 in 10 years is 10,000 hours.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
So the reason why Michael Jordan is throwing his 3-pointers, 300 3-pointers a day, is adding up. Michael Jackson rehearsed a certain, it's 10,000 hours he's adding up. Because they know this thing. So when I was at the panel talking to the kids, I'm like, I'm not going to, all you guys in the audience, the statistic, if it's out of this statistic here, is only 1% will be big. That's the fact, what I'm looking at right here. Wow. Like, according to statistics and surveys and things like that, who will be the 1%? And let me tell you guys this. People says, oh man, she's pretty, she had the voice, she got the it factor. In today's market, it factor is not that anymore. That was the 80s or the 70s when they could just put who they want to put in front of you. Now people can choose on social media. You don't care how good you are if people not feeling you.
If they're not connect, they're not connect.
They say, I don't know, man. I ain't feeling it. I don't know, man. I like it. Sounds good. I ain't feeling it. That's the audience that we have now.
Wow.
And I've seen labels money go in the tank every month. Because they come to either me or one of my label friends that run the thing. I got people that run the social media world for all the big people that you know. And they'll just, I see budgets go down the drain.
Wow.
Because then you put the person in the public face and then the public see them for a while and see them for a while and then the real nasty personality come out. I don't like this person. A lot of reggae artists know because they're on social media and they're flying to Florida and stuff. This week alone, I have about 4 girls that call me about a few reggae artists. They say, I love this music. I love that they're assholes. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, these people should not talk.
Yeah.
Let's go sing. And this is why the groom school was important. Why Motown had the thing where Diana Ross and them had to speak. They don't talk about political stuff. They don't talk about, they don't have that opinion.
Yeah. Speak about that at home.
Yeah. And then some people know today, yo, me just have to be real, you know. And I love Peter Tosh. But I see where real can be a thing where you're doing the Father, you're doing the work of the Almighty, or you're doing your ego work.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then the question is, me saying this, what is this doing now? Is it going to change? You don't need to say it yet. Say it in your music.
Facts.
Put it in your music. Because what happens is people want to hear you sing. If you have a message to them, throw it in the music. So
that's
you know. So it's this thing. When I tell the children on the panel, I was like, if you call that hard work and perseverance, that's what you maybe call it. But this thing became almost like a duty for me. It's no work anymore. It's like I would just love to stay home and just drop my kids to school and pick them up. And I remember I was doing that, and my wife said to me in 2015, I had a plaque, Egyptian plaque on the wall. Like, this is it. I feel good. She's like, this is it? I was like, yeah, kids, you're nice. You sing 2 songs too, and kids them grow up nice and things. This is it. She said, this is it. And that's not it. Because the Almighty needed me to meet XXXTentacion and needed me to do this vintage album. I never thought I was going to be an artist. Never. I just can't find nobody to voice these the way I want them to deliver it. No. You know what I mean? Arms around you. XXXTentacion's big hit song. I wrote this song, you know, and I voiced it at the studio up the street, right up there. I voice it, meet them with my own voice. I give it to a reggae artist. And the reggae artist, and I'm bridging still. And I think him kind of feel away with me, but it don't matter. But the diction, arms around you. There's no H in arms. You know what I mean? And, you know, him convinced me he's an R&B singer. Big reggae artist too. Yeah. So I took it and I gave it to a Spanish kid. Because arms around you. And he sang it the way I sang it. And it made me confident enough to play it for XXXTentacion when he came in the studio. He put a verse on the end. When he passed away, the verse is what the record label used as the chorus for the entire record. Wow. You know what I mean? And it's just in the delivery. I would never play it for him with my voice on it. You know what I mean? So, Burt Bacharach, I study him. Burt Bacharach sings, "What the world is now, you love, see love." And he give it to Shannon. And she go, "What the world is now is love, sweet love." And give it to Dion Warwick. "What the world needs now is love, sweet love." And like, whoa.
We got the right one.
You bring out the record. So that's what producing is for me now. The character I had to put to the train. I want a guy to sound like that. "Take the train to meet me, all in the rain." And then I want a guy to sound, "If I could have this girl." It's a different guy.
Right.
You know, it's a different thing I'm doing with my mouth and my cadence and stuff. You know what I mean? So
I don't know if I don't know if I want to hear nobody assassinate him. No,
yeah. So what happens is now when I see it again, life have a thing where it just work naturally.
Right.
So just leave it alone. If it don't broke, don't bother fix it.
If it ain't broke.
Yeah, just leave it alone. Next project.
I sometimes I look on the commercial success of the records, but I'm gonna tell you this. My when did the album come out? So let's say we're talking over the last 15 years, right? My 3 favorite, and again, we're not talking about the most successful. We're not talking about the 3 biggest. We're not talking about the baddest. We're talking about my 3 favorite albums.
Yeah.
That I had it had the same effect on me when I got them, right? Listen to them over and over and over and over and over until this day. I'm still in love with it, right? Stephen Marley, Revelation Part 1.
Yes.
Right? Root of Life. Alba Rosie, Unbreakable.
Nice album.
Alba Rosie, right? And the third one, Vintage Reggae.
What?
Jano.
Have a shake your hand.
Jano. Just how
Have a
it
shake
feels?
your hand, yeah.
God, no.
And those are one of my picks too, you know. Because Alba-Rosie, I'm going to admit something to you.
Yeah.
In order for me to get on my 80s album, in order for me to get the real sound I was looking for, is a plugin that they sell called Dub Station. It's called Alba-Rosie Dub Station.
Jano.
You can buy it to get the Jamaican, the real tape machine inside of a VST. You have to buy the Alba-Rosie Dub Station. I mean, I have to big up Alba-Rosie.
Alba Rosie got the sound on lock.
He's an equipment junkie, you know.
Yeah.
So what happens is his dub thing, they mimic, I think, off of equipment that he bought, because there's not a lot of them around, and he have it, and they mimic it and make it a VST, and that's what I use to get my echo, the jam it in it. When you go inside of it, you see the King Tub is set in, the jam is set in, it's in it.
Wow.
And in the UAD, there's also a tape emulation that has dancehall, King Tubbies, jammies, it has it in it, scientists too, in UAD. So there are people who, again, these programs, a lot of guys are calling it mixing in the box now. All the legends that I know and you know, they mix on board. Now they're mixing in the box, because then the UAD and certain platform I've found the tube sound and put it in it, and it's very close to what they grew up knowing. Because then for you to switch a reverb back in the day, you have to go back on the patch bay and pull down the thing. Just switching a tape machine, you have to recalibrate the whole tape and all of that. You cannot switch a tape in a button now, you know.
Based on what I say, at some point in time, there's gonna be some software up there called the Jon FX. You know what I'm saying? Just like how them have the Alba Rosie.
I'm working with a plugin company now.
Same thing.
You know what I mean?
Same
For working right now in a plugin company. I could tell you, it's a line of speakers, right, with lights in them, and there's also a glasses that I have, Bluetooth glasses.
Wow.
I have it right here. You know what I mean?
That you hear the sound?
Yeah, it's I have the prototype. Here it's a headphones glasses that you hear the sound, and where is my headphone? Yeah, Jon FX headphone glasses. So I did the prototype already, but the issue I have with it is the sound has to be right. That's me on the box of it, and unbox it and stuff. So the sound, I needed it to be right.
Right.
So you put it right on your eardrum here, and you hear it through, you Bluetooth it to whatever, earphone glasses. Headphone glasses. You know what I mean? So the thing is, I've been working on it for quite some time, but sonically, I turned back from doing me because reggae touched me. I was like, I have to help this genre up. I have to turn back. Well, you know what I mean? And pick it up back.
This is how I help the genre. Because the other thing too is this. The people who matter in terms of the sound. Because at the end of the day, let's just face reality. The people who talk when it comes to this, which is our people on the streets in Jamaica, whatever, they don't matter.
Yeah.
And the reason why they don't matter is because they don't consume the music.
They don't consume it.
They don't buy the music. They don't do that.
Yeah.
Plus, they're not preserving the genre either. The people who matter are gonna love this.
You ready for this? It's my thing now. My opinion, reggae was not made for Jamaica.
I'm with you.
You know what I mean? It wasn't made for come from Jamaica, you know. But it's not it's something that we sometimes we reach feet when we need a song, Rivers of Babylon. But then I've seen where the world it just did so much more for them.
That
You know what I mean?
for us, yeah.
There's guys that we don't really rate like that, like the Jimmy Cliff and thing. First movie superstar. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, this man here is still alive, you know.
And they and Jimmy doesn't get a reverence.
Yeah, is it a Jimmy Cliff museum? I don't know.
No.
You know what I mean? And in my brain, I'm like, yo, Desmond Decker, yo, this Millie Smart, the first platinum song, big thing.
They don't.
You know what I mean? So it's a code for me to, I don't get angry about it anymore. I never used to get too angry about it because I understood it from a little youth. I didn't hang out too much in the street corner. I remember I meet a gangster guy recently and he saw me at the gates. I said, what are you doing around here? So I'm telling him, said, this John Crawford where you see right here, say, no. I the prefect this for 5 years of school and badge up like a general at school, you know. Me have prefect, debate society, chess club, my badge up like a colonel, you know, full nerd, you know.
Yeah.
When I go to school, you know. Fully badge. Because I'm so active.
But that's how you forgot.
Yeah, so the thing is, what I recognize is
Versatile.
yeah man, it's something where academic and thinking, I can't pretend like me an ignorant person, so I know I would never get rating. Like the street rate me a different way. Yeah man, do him thing man, I'm a successful youth man. You know what I mean? I don't get the ratings, like I'm a dog, that man around here, I'm there man. When that is too much of that, it means that you're not going to be appealing to a higher, a larger audience. And the music is the same thing because it's something that it's something where if they can't relate to it at, I call it the bottom level. You know what I mean? Anytime they start to touch it, it means it's not going to go nowhere.
And that's the difference between
You know what I mean?
success and ratings.
Yeah, man.
Success and ratings is not the same.
Yeah,
a
man.
lot of times people think it is,
Yeah. People hide.
but it ain't the same.
People hide from the term rich and switch. Do you know what I mean? Boy, cool, me can't see you get rich and switch. Anyway, you tell me that. I say, oh yeah, true. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's actually a compliment for me now.
Yeah.
I take it. I don't debunk it and no man, you know, through my business. No. I say, yeah, rich and switch, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know that's what they call successful.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's what.
And I own it
Nobody
now.
does anything to be anything else but success.
Yeah, I own it now. Because what happens is, if you are not successful and you linger around them too much, the guns turn on you, you know. Every day, dog, you're there, yo, dog, you need to buy me a taxi, you know. Run on the road, you know. I don't have the money. Yeah, all right. Can't go back around there again. I see it happen to a lot of big artists in our world. They get too local because what happens is you are the hope still. Yeah. You are the person that we want to make it.
Yeah.
So we can
so
get
that
up.
you could come back and
We can get up. After a while, they don't want box food no more. You come around one day, you keep a football match, you buy everybody food and drinks and steamed fish and thing, and you do that every day. After about the second week, I'm gonna say, yo, here I'm gonna say, you know, say, I want to start a business, you know. Oh, you give me a money, you know, I want to buy a boat.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fun the thing.
Yeah, I must say, you know, thing, and then if you tell him no, it's a problem. It depends on who him is. You know what I mean? Then you get uncomfortable in the area now. So you
can't go.
You can't hang out with the savage too much. It's my brother again, Stephen. Is my younger brother, you know, but he has so much wisdom. Just 1 year younger, wisdom man. He said, John, you must learn to be a good visitor. Make guest appearances amongst your what friend them we grew up with in inner city. So just be a good visitor. They will always love you.
Yeah.
Come to, hey, what's up, guys? You're not stay too long, you know. It's a little thing here.
I move.
I move.
Yeah, for cut and go.
Yeah, my brother tell me that Stephen Crawford and John Crawford.
And a younger.
Yeah, a wisdom youth.
Wisdom comes
He
from
said,
everybody.
he said,
man.
John, you must learn to make guest appearances. Don't tarry too long.
Well, here with me, I forgot because I gotta put this episode up on the podcast. It's gonna go up this week on the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, remember to subscribe to the podcast. Homegrown with G Cole is available on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Radio.com, wherever it's the same podcast. Where there's a dope conversation with John. We done gone over an hour over the time already. So then people I hit me up like, yo, but drop your social media for the people.
Yes. So, Jon FX, everywhere. JON FX. F as in Frank, X as in Xerox. You know?
Simple.
JON FX, no H. That's everywhere.
Simple.
Yeah.
And what I'm gonna do is this. I had to take the opportunity right now for reason with you, for talk to you. And we gotta do it again.
I appreciate it.
Bro.
It taught me so much too.
Pleasure. So what we're gonna know is I got radio on Wednesday night. Today one, play on Monday. I got radio Wednesday night and on Tuesdays too, but I'm gonna be flying tomorrow.
Yeah.
So what I will do now is on my radio nights now, I'm gonna have to get them the album. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to get them the album start to finish.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So
I'll be tuning in.
I'm gonna let you know Wednesday from 10 to midnight.
10 to
We're going through the entire album.
Wow.
Right? So I want to forward back. Then we have to go link up again and
I'll explain it.
and Jano.
Yeah.
But I kid you
man.
not when I say it's my top 3 right now. Top 3, right?
Wow.
And
I'm so humbled by that.
Bro, and it's no indictment on anybody.
Yeah.
Because like I've done some written reviews and blogs for Jamaicans.com and for some other sites regarding great albums. You know what I mean? That come out recently. Never Ending by Barris Hammond. You know what I mean? And some other stuff. Hope River. But there's certain stuff that's just in different places and special places. And like me say, Alba Rosie, Stephen Marley.
Yeah.
Of the new era that is.
Yeah.
And this album right up there. So
Wow.
I can't wait to see this on vinyl.
Yeah.
Because it needs to. I don't think I'm gonna get it. How I'm supposed to get it?
Yeah, man.
Until I need to touch down on a record.
Yeah, man. And that gonna make me do it even because I was gonna do regular vinyl and I was gonna do color vinyl. And I have to do the color vinyl now for the kids. And my birthday event is on the 27th, Saturday at Top Tier. And I was gonna make it like a pre-launch. I'm doing another one.
You should.
Again. Might do that Blue Martini. I'm doing one at Bar One for sure. And I'm gonna have the step and repeat, and it's a launch of this really. And I'll take it.
Hard copies?
Not yet. It don't come yet.
Not come
It not come yet.
Okay,
Distribution them. They didn't expect that amount of batch orders from me. You know what I mean? And they haven't been nobody's been requesting that. You know what I mean? So a lot of people have to dust off their machine. And then there's people that are into vinyl for the looks of it, and young kids, and they're backed up because they haven't the production.
Oh, vinyl is doing this thing now, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I understand because even with me, a lot of times people ask you for put out some physical copies, but you can't print 1,000 copies to
just give away.
So one person could buy one. You know what I mean? Then you got $9.99 that you're gonna have to either give away or do some stuff with it.
Yeah.
But if and when it reaches vinyl, let me know. I'm gonna be the first person to buy one.
I'm gonna have a vinyl release party for it for sure. You know what I mean? I have to because I did it with Sizzler's album, the last album 2017, and I've seen what physical copies did. It ran up 1 week. It made us enter the Billboard number 2 organically.
Wow.
Billboard, and the only reason number 1, Damon was up there.
Oh yeah.
With that big album.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
With the Stony Hill album. So I understand.
You ain't gonna win that fight. You ain't gonna win that fight.
And then again, I'm happy that I'm even there.
Yeah.
It's like, what, Damon? Beside Damon?
Yeah.
What? It's nice. I was glad.
Gangzilla.
Yeah, man.
One of them that does it so well, you swear says a reggae artist. Give them the name of the album?
Vintage Reggae.
Vintage Reggae.
Vintage Reggae, Jon FX. Yeah.
And it's everywhere because I listen to it on Apple Music and I listen to it on Tidal, so I know it's everywhere.
Everywhere. My distribution is like Orchard, Sony, and they get your music everywhere. Everywhere that music can be found, stream, purchase, it's there.
Them some for put in the comments.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, with John, we got to get up out of here. But I thank you so much for passing through.
Yes, thank you for having me, man. It's a breath of fresh air, and I'm so humbled that it's so well received. Thank you. I sincerely appreciate it.
Now I'm gonna make it go through the comments. I'm gonna have to do this afterwards, but I guarantee you, I'm not the only person expressing sentiment. Because I must put the title in the comments here. John, ladies and gentlemen, it's Jon FX. I want to say the thing proper, my brother. Give thanks.
Thank you, man.
Pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, go get the album now. Romario Lajo. I thank y'all so much for rocking out, man. I appreciate y'all big time. Jon FX.
Would that be spring or summer?
Nakikinika sa música, Homegrown with G Cole.
Estás escuchando Homegrown con G Cole.
您现在正在收听的是 Homegrown with G Cole.
You're listening to Homegrown with G Cole.
I must say thanks to the good folks over at Jamaicans.com. Gotta get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for the love, man. Appreciate you big time. I appreciate y'all a lot. Peace.
It's love.